and affiliates.
Wondering if your child is attending the best school for them? Your child's education is one of the most important decisions you make as a parent. St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic School, or SEAS as we're known, is located in northwest Tucson. Our school provides an outstanding academic education for students in preschool through 8th grade. We focus on moral and spiritual formation, community service, and character development. We embrace Catholic beliefs and traditions and welcome students of all faith backgrounds. In addition to core subjects, we offer music, art, PE, 3D printing, and Latin. SEAS is now enrolling for the 24-25 school year. SEAS making a difference through spirituality, excellence, academics, and service.
And right now, we have a sweet deal for you. You can get half off a year's tuition at St. Elizabeth Ann Seton Catholic School. That's a $7,600 value for just $3,800. And this sweet deal is on sale right now at WildcatsRadio1290.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
And a great Monday to you. Right off the top, I give you Mr. Calvin Cortazar Brodus Jr., a.k.a. Snoop Dogg.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kinda hard being Snoop D-O-double-G. But I somehow, some way, keep coming up with funky hits like every single day. May I kick a little something for the G's and make a few ends as I breeze through 2 in the morning and the party still jumping cause my mama ain't home. I got some freaks in the living room and they ain't leaving till 6 in the
And here is what Snoop Doggy Dogg had to say today.
College football fans are exhausted by the constant talk around NIL, conference realignment, coach movement, transfer portal, and super conferences. So it's time that we get back to the roots of college football, when it was focused on the colleges, the players, the competition, the community, the fan experience, and the pageantry. Being a fan, coach, supporter of all levels of the game, I sent many players through my SYFL to colleges and the NFL. So it's only fitting that I step up and help get this thing right. I'm ready to bring the juice back to college football. And I'm taking my talents, that's right, to Arizona. Believe me, Arizona, baby. I'm here to announce the new collaboration, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. The game will be played on December 28th at the University of Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona. I'll be there. Will you be there? Well, guess what? We'll see you there.
How about that? The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, sponsored by Gin and Juice. I like it. Something new. So I tell you what, boy, the organizers of the Arizona Bowl, they just continue to come up with unique and innovative forms of partnerships for this bowl game here in Tucson. First it was Barstool. The last few years, hate it or love it. The underdogs on top. Hate it or love it. It was unique. It was different. They took the broadcast in a unique way, putting it online, streaming it. They brought in guys that, weren't traditional college football analysts, almost like you were watching it on your couch. And now they've partnered with Snoop Dogg to bring another new angle to Tucson's College Bowl game. What do you think of that? The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice. You like gin and juice? You like gin? J-Dub, you a gin guy?
I do.
You
I
like
like gin
gin?
a lot, actually.
Oh, wow. I'm not really a gin fan. It's not my clear
I had a
liqueur
friend
of choice.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't. My mom drank gin growing up, gin and tonics or whatever. But when I was a bartender, I knew a guy, and he said, if you started a night with a Bombay Sapphire Martini, you couldn't go wrong.
Wow.
And
wait, was this bartender you?
No. This is I was in my early 20s,
Okay.
and I met somebody who had that philosophy. And from that point forward, gin is a very specific. A lot of vodka's pretty general, but tequila, gin, they all have a very specific flavor. And so
Yeah.
you either like it or you don't. Some people like spicy food, some people don't. How about you?
Nah, I'm not a gin person. I'm much more particular to my vodka than I am to my gin.
I think I rate alcohols on how badly I felt the day after. If I didn't drink enough water and eat enough food during my... So I've had some really bad vodka hangovers. Tequila, probably the worst. Gin's pretty clean.
I drank a lot of gin in college because, of course, I went to college in Los Angeles, and it was about the time that, this song dropped.
Sure.
And it was kind of popular to have some gin with maybe a glass of orange juice or something of that nature, but it just never hit the same for me as a vodka and orange juice did.
Well, I mean, the gin and juice thing is because gin more or less disappears. So it's not the flavor of gin. When you're drinking gin and juice, it's the flavor of juice, and that's why people drink it. I don't mind if it's a higher quality. I like a higher quality gin. I don't have any fancy bottles of gin at my house. But yeah, if I do choose, I like a good gin martini, classic style.
Kim Adair, who you'll hear from coming up, said in a press release, a statement, "We are a little different from all the other bowls. We're not afraid to take risks and do things outside of the box. An alcohol brand has always been off the table for us until recently. Everybody in the stadium is drinking beer or a cocktail. It's time for the industry to evolve." And so there you have it, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by the Gin and Juice brand that Snoop and Dr. Dre have collaborated on. And this game, again, like you heard Snoop said, will be December 28th, so that stays on a Saturday. It won't be right backed up against New Year's Eve, but I'm sure it'll kind of still have the same New Year's Eve vibe to it that it always has with events throughout the weekend leading into the kickoff of 2025. But Saturday at 2:30 on December the 28th will be the bowl game. Snoop obviously heavily involved on the football side, started his Snoop Youth Football League in Southern California in the Los Angeles area. Some 60,000 inner city children have played in the Snoop Youth Football League over the course of the last 18 years, including several Arizona Wildcats, most notably Rayshawn Luke, Speedy Luke, who came out of the Snoop Youth Football League. Snoop has been a known college football fan dating back to the 80s when, we backed the U in the 80s. That's one of the lines. Then in the 2000s, he was all over the sideline at my alma mater, Southern California, repping the Cardinal and the gold. Earlier this year, he went around to a number of different football programs, including the University of Arizona, and sponsored a movie night for a movie that he was involved with that they had here on campus. So he's been heavily involved in college football on a number of different planes, and this is the latest. Snoop Dogg expected to, the release goes on to say, expected to contribute to the in-game broadcast, will participate in bowl activities leading up to the bowl game. There are plans for a Snooper Bowl where the artist plans to bring in the top California and Arizona youth teams together for a battle of the week of games. How about that? I mean, again, youth football, that's where it begins. And I love that element of it. I love it. That goes back to something that I've been saying for years. I would love to see the entire state get together. And when we talk about spring football and the spring football games for Arizona State, I would absolutely love if we brought all three of the colleges, NAU, the three major schools that fall under the regions, NAU, Arizona State together. They all did their spring games on one day, made it a football extravaganza that included youth football as well. You know, whether one year you have it down here at U of A, one year you have it up at Tempe, maybe we throw in a year we have it up in Flagstaff. Just bring everybody together in one place for just like an extravaganza of Arizona football on a Saturday in April. That would be, to me, that would be really, really cool. Get all the fan bases together. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine you bring in the U of A fans, the ASU fans, the NAU fans, all to one place. Bring all the youth football teams in Arizona into this one place for one day of football, celebration of football here in the state of Arizona. I'd love to see the Arizona Bowl people are very innovative. I'd love to see them get behind something like that. That would be unbelievable. But again, this is a good start, and that's our question of the day today. So we've now had, and we don't know what this iteration of the Arizona Bowl is going to be just yet. We just found out about this today. They just announced it. Shh. I don't need you in the background there, Snoopy. But our question of the day, is this iteration of the Arizona Bowl with a sponsorship associated with Snoop Dogg going to be better and more productive for Tucson and Southern Arizona than the partnership with Barstool that just passed? I think it was like 3-4 years, started right before the pandemic, so maybe close to 5 years that partnership was. Head on over right now to Twitter, at Wildcats 1290. Will Snoop Dogg sponsorship of the Arizona Bowl be better and more productive for Tucson than the partnership with Barstool? You can vote in our poll. It's up right now. Right now, 96% of the early voting saying yes, this is going to be much better for Tucson and Southern Arizona, this partnership with Snoop Dogg and Gin and Juice than the most recent partnership with Barstool. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not a Barstool person. That they're not talking to me. I'm not watching their products. I'm not online looking at any of their stuff.
You did attend a fraternity though, right?
I did go to, yeah. Well,
that's the general audience,
right? Now I don't know if they're looking at my fraternity though. That I don't know if my fraternity fits exactly their mindset.
Fair enough. I'm excited about Dre. Forgot about Dre.
Yeah, don't forget about Dre.
No, I love Dre.
Gonna be fun. You hear about that? Are we talking about Cricket? You hear about Snoop Dogg? The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl?
I just heard about that. Sponsored by Gin and Juice.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you like gin? Are you a gin drinker?
No. Thanks to my grandpa.
Oh, what's the story there?
When I turned 21, we went to the VFW and we had gin drinks. And I won't drink gin anymore.
That's what he asked me, like, what alcohols I drink. And I said, I'd base it on my experiences the day after. Right. If it was a poorly planned night with not a lot of water and didn't get enough food in you. And
then it can be bad.
Yeah, it can be real bad.
So that 21st birthday is not a night you really remember too well, huh?
I remember the gin part. Not fun.
Not fun.
No.
No.
So will Snoop Dogg be here for the Arizona Bowl, do you think?
That's what it said. Yeah, then the
That's
release
cool.
it said he's going to be here. There's
Do
gonna
commentary,
Be, there's going to be going to be a
funny.
part of the broadcast. There's going to be events leading up to the game again. But that we heard a lot of that same thing with the Barstool people too, and some of those events leading up to the game never really happened. So I'll be interested to see if this is different.
Do you think you can get an interview with Snoop?
Well, I was hoping to get one with him today, but he did not come to Tucson for this announcement.
Okay.
He put out his video, but it wasn't from here. He sent the president, the CEO of the gin and juice brand. Those two gentlemen were here in Tucson today. You'll hear from them coming up as well. But yeah, I'd like to get an interview with Snoop and talk some football with him.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that would be really fun. Yachtly Crew was awesome.
Did you get
on
a cap?
Friday night? I didn't get a cap because they didn't have. Because again, I told you I wanted something. I wanted a different looking cap. I didn't want just the white cap like everybody has the white cap. I want something like maybe different. And they didn't really have any good choices there,
Fair
so I
enough.
didn't get one. But they were just fabulous. I've seen them 4 times now. This was the best show that I'd seen them do.
Oh, wow.
It's like the first 7 songs were like, oh my God, I love that song. Oh my God, I love that song. I love that song. I mean, it was like the first 7 songs were off the charts. And then the best part is they do Baker Street, and the saxophonist goes everywhere.
Oh, nice.
He goes up into the bleacher, the balcony, and he plays one of the sax sets up there. Then he comes down to the floor and he plays one of the sax sets down there. I mean, it's just
That's cool.
It's awesome. It's absolutely it was the best of the 4 shows that I've seen. And in Rialto, I mean, I saw him out at Ava, but Ava is just a different venue. You have to you're kind of like it's not a standing really venue because there's too many seats there, and there's not like a good standing area. But this is the kind of concert you have to be like it's really a standing concert. It's not a sitting concert kind of thing.
You kind of dance around, pop around.
Exactly. Yeah. So it was a really good. And you know what? We didn't fight like they did the next night for OGZ. So, did you see that?
No.
Oh my God! I don't even know who OGZ is, but apparently that brought out the fighters on Saturday night down at the Rialto. So yeah, it's just we go have fun. The young kids, they go down and they want to throw blows at each other
Fight.
and fight. Yeah. How was your weekend?
It was too
Did
short.
you study?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. How'd that go?
Oh, great.
Is your brain fried yet?
Yes, I'm so over it.
You're so
Over it. I'm so tired.
I bet.
Yeah. I need a nap.
You know, David Kelly, cricket in my generation invented the mosh pit, so we're kind of used to that.
There you go.
We're kind of used to the dance floors.
Well, it wasn't a mosh pit.
No, I understand. I'm just saying we're used. Our generation is pretty used to physical altercations on the dance floor.
Okay. All right. Yes. I don't think I ever did a mosh pit. I saw one time and I tried to get away from it as far as I could.
Yeah.
There you go.
I definitely couldn't do that nowadays.
I don't think cricket and I invented the mosh pit, but our people did.
Our people, yes.
I don't know, man. I thought I heard something about a J-Dub and a cricket associated with that. I thought I read that on Wikipedia at some point.
Yep.
Right. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic.
And from the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported Cortero and Camino de Oeste and Cortero. Also collision that occurred eastbound I-10 near Orange Grove, and do expect eastbound I-10 backups approaching Orange Grove. 54 the low, sunny skies, 88 tomorrow, and 81 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. At Progressive, they're making things even easier. They'll help you bundle your home and car insurance together so you can save money on both. Learn more at Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE. Again, that's Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
The very best in play-by-play is on Tucson's best sports station, Wildcats Radio 1290. This is the home of the Wildcats and NFL play-by-play. This is the one and only Wildcats Radio 1290.
You do everything you can for your family. A nice home, good food, family fun, and the right medical care. You plan ahead for your kids' future and their education. That's all great, unless something unexpected happens to you. If you were to die, who would pay the mortgage and all the other bills? Would your family have to sell their home just to survive? That's why you need to call Term Provider for the lowest rates available on quality term life policies, period. Rates for term life are at all-time lows, and Term Provider could save you 50, 60, even 70%. Already have coverage? Call and see if you're paying too much. Term Provider could save you thousands. And if your health isn't perfect, even more reason to call. We'll match you with the right policy even if you have weight issues like diabetes or high blood pressure. Right now, your family's protected. Make sure that protection continues if something unexpected happens to you. Call for a free quote and see if you can save up to 70%. Call 800-511-3535 now. That's 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. There is zero risk to you. If we can't reduce your tax debt, then you pay nothing. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have a 5-star rating on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
For 100 years, O'Reilly Chevrolet has been part of the fabric of Tucson, just as our Chevy trucks are part of the fabric of America. With that in mind, we're proud to announce it's officially truck season. And this year we have Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. Test drive your new Chevy truck on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or check out our entire lineup at O'Reilly.com. Don't miss truck season, going on now at O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
You want to protect her, you'll give anything to make sure nothing harms her. Every minute together makes unforgettable memories. Except that time you parked her under that tree and...
Oh, come on, man, really?
Sorry, we'll never speak of it again. But remember who came to her rescue? Recon Auto Detailing. Arizona's premier auto detailing company comes directly to you. We'll make your masterpiece shine like it should, and with a monthly maintenance package, we'll keep it that way. Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey, guys. What are you...
Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Uh-huh. Right. You don't say. Uh-huh. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for an elastification, but the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for an elastification is...
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Android users, you can tune in to the home of the Wildcats by downloading our new app at the Google Play Store so you can tune in wherever you are 24 hours a day. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, our number is 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We want to hear from you on the new partnership for the Arizona Bowl with Snoop Dogg and Gin and Juice. The Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice. Do you like this particular partnership? Do you like this idea? Do you like what Snoop could possibly bring to this game, which is going to be 10 years old? 10 years it's been now that they've been playing the Arizona Bowl coming up this year this December. It started in, 2014. Seems just like yesterday. That's how it works nowadays. J-Dub, for us older people, it's like, we were talking about this the other day. It's like, man, it just seems like yesterday somebody was like 6 years old and now they're getting ready to graduate from high school or something.
Yeah.
It just goes so fast.
Yeah, I actually have a birthday coming up here in a week, but I don't feel old. However, the relative stuff is what makes me feel old. Right? Like, my birthday landmarks don't matter, but when my sister, for instance, turned 60, I'm like, what? How is that possible? Like, how did that happen?
Yeah, it's it can come up and grab you real quick for sure. Riley Wall is going to join us on the program today. Riley played basketball this past season for the Pima Aztecs women's team. She is going to spend just 1 year here in Southern Arizona because she has signed to go play at San Jose State after just one season. It was a fabulous season in which she was the ACCAC Player of the Year and a Division I or Division II All-American for the Pima Aztecs. So we'll talk to Riley about that coming up here a little bit later in this hour. Also, a lot happened over the weekend. We'll get into everything. I was busy. Went to Yachtly Cruise. I mentioned that on Friday night. Had an awesome time there. Saturday, I was out at Arizona men's tennis. The fellas clinched another trip to the Sweet 16. They're headed to New York City to take on Columbia this week in the Sweet 16 with a chance to play their way into the Final Four. Who would have ever thought that of this program? But that's where they are. You'll hear from Colton Smith after a 4-zip victory over the Auburn Tigers on Saturday. Great day to be out at the Robson Tennis Center. Great crowds out there. U of A softball was out supporting the fellas. It was really good to see. Then I went down to Arizona baseball on Saturday night. I'd actually only been to one other game this season, and that was a non-conference game. So I had to get down there and see the Wildcats. Saw Clark Candiotti pitch. We had seen him. We had talked to him last week or Friday night, in fact, on the show when we were out at the ballpark. And Clark did not disappoint. His dad was nicknamed. His dad was the great Tom Candiotti. He's the radio analyst for the Arizona Diamondbacks radio network, a 16-year major leaguer. He was known as the Candy Man, obviously, during his days. So I had to come up with something different for Clark because I don't think you can't call him the Candy Man because his dad was that, and you can't call him the Candy Kid. That didn't really sound good to me. So how about the Candy Cat? You like that, J-Dub, the Candy Cat?
Sure.
No, you don't like it.
No, I mean, I think it's better than the Candy Kid, that's for sure. Workshop it.
The Candy Cat.
Candy Cat.
Yes. So the Candy Cat, a complete game 5-hit shutout on Saturday night as the Wildcats swept the Stanford Cardinal and now lead the Pac-12 by 2 games because Utah, who entered the weekend tied with Arizona, lost 2 out of 3 to the Oregon Ducks this weekend. So the Wildcats will head to Salt Lake City this weekend with a 2-game lead for some early baseball. Those games are going to start early here. Salt Lake City is obviously in the Mountain Time zone still, so they're an hour behind us. But, yeah, early starts coming up Friday and Saturday, and then a late game Sunday, which I don't know that – It must be TV because it makes no sense to play 2 early games Friday and Saturday and not play until Sunday
Well, my
night.
guess is they're starting those games Friday and Saturday at 10 a.m. so that they don't have to deal with the cold as the sun falls,
Possibly.
right? But 6 p.m. start on Sunday, that's a really late start just in general for a Sunday game.
It really so TV must be behind that, I would have to think. So you'll hear from Chip Hale and Clark Candiotti and Garen Caulfield. Talk to all 3 of those young men after the ball game the other night, so you will hear from them as well. Want to get, though, back to the Arizona Bowl. They held a press conference today over at the Sands Club at Arizona Stadium. And first, let's hear from Kim Adair on this new partnership with Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, and Gin and Juice.
This year, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop is bringing sports, libations, and entertainment into a singular bowl game and in a way that's never been seen before. In this morning's announcement, Snoop said it best when he said, at a time when college football fans are exhausted by the constant talk around NIL, conference realignment, coach movement, transfer portal, and super conferences, it's time that we get back to the roots of college football, when it was focused on the colleges, the players, the competition, the community, the fan experience, and the pageantry. Then he said, he's bringing the juice back to college football. We couldn't agree more with that assessment. I'd like to introduce you guys to a few important people that made this announcement possible. First, I'd like to introduce you to Sarah Ramaker, the president of Death Row Productions, Records, Pictures, all of the above. Sarah. When we first contacted Sarah and Snoop about this crazy idea to create the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, they immediately understood how this partnership could bring life to Snoop's passions of music, football, and youth sports, all in one centralized event. Without their ability to think creatively and be open to defying convention, we would not be here today. So thank you, Sarah, for being our champion all the way through. Thank you, Sarah. We knew, though, to get this right and to do something totally transformative, we needed one more partner to join us on this ride. And that was Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop, a brand new ready-to-drink canned beverage that was launched at the Super Bowl in February. When we met Sean, Patrick, and Andrew, they're here, Sean, Patrick, and Andrew, and their team, it immediately felt like we could do something groundbreaking together. Their enthusiasm to be the first alcohol presenting sponsor in a bowl game was contagious, and it felt like the perfect alliance from the start. We'll hear from Patrick and Andrew in a few minutes, but I wanted to take a minute to thank them and Sean for being here, making the trip out here, and being introduced to our community. Thank you guys so much for being here. I also want to thank a few more people and groups before we hear from our special guests. Thank you to our board of directors, many of you are here, the excellent staff of the Bowl that worked tirelessly to get here. You know who you are. Our amazing Blue Blazers, woo-woo! Our incredible partners at the University of Arizona. Yay! Specifically, President Robbins and our new athletic director, Desiree Francois Reed, thank you. And lastly, thank you to Rio Nuevo. Fletcher McCusker's here representing Rio Nuevo. Fletcher's also one of our founders of the Bowl. We wouldn't be here without Fletcher, so big thank you to Fletcher. But Rio Nuevo, thank you for your unwavering support of the Bowl, and to our many sponsors who have supported us every step of the way. We have the best partners in this community, so thank you. We're also proud to have some of our community's most hardworking elected officials with us here today. I'd like to thank Patrick Robles, representing Southern Arizona office of Governor Katie Hobbs. State Representative from District 20, Betty Villejas. Ward 1 Council Member Lane Santa Cruz. Ward 2 Council Member Paul Cunningham is back in the back. And lastly, I'd like to recognize Lance Jones, the director of the Pima College Foundation, who's here with us today, too. Lance, he's here somewhere.
All right, that is Kim Adair. She is one of the founders of the Arizona Bowl. She is the chief in charge over there for sure. If she wanted to make Katie Holmes governor of Arizona, I would be all about that. I like Katie Holmes.
I think
Katie Hobbs is okay too, but Katie Holmes is governor, I would go there.
I think she quit working though to raise a kid, so she quit acting.
Yeah.
So I don't know
Siri is her name, the daughter's name, I believe.
Sure, sounds right. Sounds good to me.
Go. All right, so that was Kim Adair. Patrick Hulbert and Andrew Gill, she mentioned them in her remarks there. They are the CEOs of Gin and Juice by Dr. Dre and Snoop. They also spoke about this unique partnership and said they are honored to be a part of this game.
What an exciting time. Thank you to the University of Arizona. Thank you to the NCAA for giving us such an exciting opportunity to be a part of a spectacular moment in sports. Us as a brand new alcohol brand, we could not be more thrilled to officially announce that we are the first ever alcohol brand that can be a presenting sponsor at an NCAA college bowl game. And what better way to do it than with one of our co-founder icons, Mr. Snoop Dogg himself. Hand it over to Andrew.
We wanted to touch on what a natural fit this is for us as a brand. You know, Snoop has such a passion, and he's contributed so much to college to football in general. He's had the Snoop Youth Football League for nearly 20 years. It's seen, I think, nearly 40 players go on to the NFL. We've got 3 athletes at Arizona right now. We've got Chuba May, Justin Flo, a.k.a. Baby Man, and Rayshawn Luke, a.k.a. Speedy. And we all know Snoop as he's been a fan, he's been a coach, and he's been an ultimate supporter of football. And this is really a moment for us and our shared similarities as a brand and working with Snoop and bringing a lot of fun to this, to bring just an elevated moment to the fan experience and really highlight the well-deserving players that are about to be here that make it to this game. And so with that, we definitely just want to toast Snoop's contribution to this, and thank you all for letting us be a part of what an amazing adventure this is going to be.
Justin Flo, Baby Man, Baby Man. I like that. That's a perfect a fit for Justin Flo. He's got that kind of personality, a young kid in a grown man's body, for sure. One of the 3 players to come out of the Snoop Youth Football League playing for your Arizona Wildcats. All right, we want to hear from you on that. 520-848-1290. Don't forget, we've got a poll up right now on our Twitter page at Wildcats1290. Is this going to be a better partnership, the Snoop Bowl for Tucson, than the Barstool Bowl was? Head on over there right now. Vote yes or no in our poll. Coming up, Riley Wall's going to join us. Pima College basketball player. She is headed to play for San Jose State after a stellar 1 season here in Tucson. It's DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Cortero and Camino de Oeste. Camino de Oeste and Cortero Farms Road. Also wreck that occurred I-10 near Orange Grove on the eastbound side of I-10 near Orange Grove, and there are some slowdowns on eastbound I-10 approaching Orange Grove. Weather-wise, 54 the low, sunny, 88 tomorrow, and 81 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered. Visit Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
At Right Way, our team wouldn't last 5 minutes against the Wildcats. But when it comes to great service and your home comfort, well, that's a slam dunk. Whether it's heating and cooling, water heaters, or a block drain, give us a call today and let us win the game for you. Or visit www.rightwayac.com. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing is proud to be an official sponsor of Arizona Athletics. Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. If it's worth doing, do it the right way.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you...
Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Uh-huh. Right. You don't say. Uh-huh. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an elastification.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for elastification, But the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for an Alaskification is
now.
Schedule at AlaskanAC.com. Now.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential. But finding those people can be a major hassle. Unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
Brian Peabody.
My biggest thing is get back. If you don't get back in transition D, you'll never play.
I got one of your former players at Greenfields here.
Player is very generous. I was not a player. I was just a guy who sat around on the bench. I was on your second team back in '92, way back when.
We didn't have a second team. We only had 6 players. What are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, and I wasn't even good enough to be on that rotation. So there you go.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic offers military discounts to retired and disabled veterans. And they now accept patients with access insurance. For more information and to find the location nearest you, visit firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
It's no contest, Tucson. You're listening to the home of the Arizona Wildcats. That's why 1290 runs this town. This is the one and only home of your Arizona Wildcats.
And you know this, man.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. 520-848-1290. Love to talk to you today, but right now we're going to head out to the hotline and talk to Pima. One-time, I should say, Pima basketball player, because she is headed on to bigger and better basketball. Riley Wall joins us, competed this past year as a freshman for Todd Holdhouse's Aztecs, and this past week, Friday, signed her letter of intent to play now for San Jose State on the Division I level. And first of all, Riley, congratulations. What did it feel like to kind of solidify everything about your next stop on this basketball journey?
Well, first, hi, guys, and thank you. It felt really amazing just because coming from high school, I wasn't, given the opportunity to kind of have like a signing party. So this is my first time ever doing something like this, and surrounded by people that I love and care about. So that was something definitely I loved, and it was a great experience all around.
And you had a whole bunch of folks that came in. Like, who all came over to Tucson this past week?
Well, besides my family, couple of my friends from other sports, softball was there, of course, my basketball team, and a couple of my classmates that I made friends in class.
So obviously you played one season here, and as you were kind of going through this season, or was that always the plan that potentially it might just be one season here in Tucson and you would look to maybe try to sign at the next level? When did that kind of materialize that you might be able to do it right away and not have to play a second season on the JC level?
So, coming out of high school, the plan was always to go to Pima and finish 1 year and done. But, toward the end, I was, expecting to come back just because, certain things. And then this kind of came out of nowhere. And I realize, wow, I think I'm actually going to leave and do like, what I told myself I was going to do 1 year and done. So came to me as a shock and a relief at the same time.
So how did it come together? You said it kind of came out of nowhere. Did they all of a sudden just call you? How did it all happen?
So after nationals, our season, we ended really well. I got a few phone calls from a couple of schools, obviously, and I felt like I would still be like a better fit for Pima. And then out of nowhere, I got a call from San Jose State. I know the coaching staff pretty well. My best friend plays on the team, and they called me. We've known each other for a while. They showed interest. I loved them. I loved my friends, and then we just made it happen.
Nice. We're talking with Riley Wall. She is the freshman guard for the Pima Aztecs, has signed to play at San Jose State University. So you said you had a friend on the team. Had you kind of been conversing with her about, hey, are they interested? Or at what point did you start conversing with her after they called you, after the coaching staff reached out? Then did you start talking to your friend about the situation?
Yes. So this is my best friend. We've always wanted to play together our whole lives. So she didn't even know. I got off the phone with the coaches, and then I immediately called her, and I was just like, oh my God. I just got off the phone with them. I think they love me. And she was super excited, and she was like, well, I'm going to text my head coach right now.
And what's her name?
Sydney Summers, a sophomore point guard for San Jose State. She had an amazing season.
Outstanding. And so, how did you? And you said did you guys play together in high school, grade school, club ball?
So we've been training with her father since middle school, all the way up until college.
Nice. We're talking with Riley Wall, who again an outstanding season, 580 points this season for the Pima Aztecs, scored 43 points in the national tournament. Let's go back to that particular game right there. You had 20 for 22 from the line in that game. How are you getting to the line so easily in that contest?
Honestly, just getting to the basket, drawing fouls, using my body, and then that's kind of how I got to the free throw line. And I make free throws, so we definitely needed those.
Is that an important part of your game? Do you think just being aggressive and trying to get those easy points in that nature?
Definitely. Being aggressive, just plays into a lot of factors, fouling out the other team, frustrating the other team, getting to the line, which is always easy points.
And there's, again, the list of honors for you this year were plentiful. First team NJCAA Division II All-American, Division II All-Tournament team at the national tournament, ACC AC Division II Player of the Year, Freshman of the Year in the ACC/AC, First Team ACC/AC. Did you think it was going to be that big a year for you here in Pima?
No. Generally, did not think I was going to have a super standout year. I figured, I was going to do pretty well, but to have those type of accomplishments in 1 year still kind of shocks me.
So then, in terms of the guys, you finished 7th at the national tournament. What was kind of special about that event and that run? You guys obviously won the first game, lost the second game, but then came back to win 3 in a row. What was key in kind of finishing strong and getting that 7th place finish for the Aztecs?
That was definitely something important for us. Being the only team that played 4 games back-to-back, and we had the earliest games back-to-back. So kind of just coming from that. Playing really super hard teams and kind of staying composed, staying together, playing hard. Our coaches never quitting on us. That's super special to us. We finished 7th. We should have won it all, but that's okay.
So what happened in the one game you lost?
Yeah. We're not going to go into.
Now we don't want to go into those details.
No.
Joined by Riley Wall, Pima Aztecs hoopster, headed to San Jose State. 35 games this season, averaged 17 points, 6 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals, shot 40% from the field, 81% from the line. In terms of your abilities as a passer, 5 assists per ball game, how did you develop that coming up as a youth basketball player?
So I made the transition to point guard my senior year of high school. Just learned to have because with my size being 5'6", I have to be able to pass the ball and get my teammates open and get them to score. Because that's what a point guard does. So coming to Pima, Coach Ross, Coach Todd, everyone helped me to have that IQ. I watched a lot of basketball films to get there. So I feel like each year I'm improving and improving. And then also my teammates knowing how I play, knowing their spots, knowing who they are. So when I throw the ball, I already know that they're there.
And how many people this year, I wanted to ask you this question the last time we chatted, how many people this year said that you reminded them of Coach Sydney Stallworth when she played at Pima?
My whole coaching staff. The whole coaching staff. So Coach Sydney also played a big factor, just learning from her, being in the gym every day with her, even today, just working out with her teaching me her moves because we play the exact same type of style. So I have a lot to learn from her.
So now, what's next in terms of I'm imagine school's just about to end here. You'll finish out, and when do you get up to San Jose?
So school's out. I leave next week. I'm in contact with San Jose. I haven't decided whether it's going to be the beginning of June or the end of June.
Okay. So you'll maybe take some downtime, recharge the batteries, and then get up there and get ready to go.
No downtime. Once I land in LA, even in Arizona, to this day, Pima, we're still doing weight room.
Okay.
We're still ready. There's no downtime.
All right. No. Well, take a vacation at some point. Refresh the brains. Dial it down so you can have that energy and be ready to go. Because Division I is a completely different animal. One other question in terms of the decision to make this at this particular time. Were there, as you began to weigh, like you were saying, I might come back for a second year, I might go now. Was it strictly the relationships that was the big thing for you? Did you think, maybe if I come back, put up another big season at Pima, I might even be able to go bigger than San Jose State?
Definitely. That was definitely an option. Talking to Coach Todd, just saying, hey, if I decide to stay another year and have another outstanding season, I will get more phone calls. But I just felt like San Jose would be the perfect fit. I love their conference, and I think that's somewhere where I could have an immediate impact.
There you go. Got to find the place that fits you the best, and it sounds like Sydney. I'm sorry, Sydney. That's even you remind me of Sydney as well, Riley. And it sounds like you found that for sure at San Jose State, and we wish you nothing but continued success and the best of luck, and looking forward to seeing you compete in the Mountain West in the years to come.
Thank you.
Riley Wall, she is the outstanding freshman from this past year, Pima Aztecs basketball, a program high 43 points in the national tournament and a single game high record at Pima College, and did so making 20 of 22 free throws, and she made 40 free throws. She went 40 for 43 from the line in those four games that they played at the national tournament. That, again, we talk about guards that can get to the line. That's what you like to see from a guard, for sure, point guard in particular.
Early in this hour, we were talking about the U of A baseball's start times up in Utah, and we did have one of our favorite all-time employees of this building, Nate Rady, texted me, and he said that they share the stadium. So sure enough, I looked at the schedule, DK. Salt Lake City Bees are playing the River Cats on Sacramento. The 10th at 6:30, on the 11th at 6:30. So both those 10 a.m. starts are meant to be finished and over, and the stadium emptied and cleaned out so they can get it ready for that 6:30 first pitch. And then on Mother's Day, the 12th, their game starts at 1:05.
Yeah.
Hence the 6 p.m. start for the Cats, late start on Sunday. That's why that weird schedule is.
Salt Lake Bees of the AAA. I don't know if they call it the Pacific Coast League anymore, but yeah, I've been in that stadium before. Has a beautiful view of the Wasatch Mountains there. A fun place to call a baseball game. Obviously, the longtime affiliate of the Anaheim LA Angels of Anaheim, if they even call the Anaheim part anymore, the LA Angels. Mike Trout came through there. A lot of great players came through Salt Lake on the AAA side for sure.
I've been there a few times. That's my mom got her undergrad from Utah.
There you go. There you go. So that explains why we will have early baseball for you. Brian Jeffries going to be on the air Friday and Saturday at 9:50 a.m. for those games that will start at 11 in Salt Lake City, 10 o'clock here. Friday and Saturday, the first of two of three against the Utah Utes this weekend. Again, the Wildcats will go to that series with a 2-game lead in the Pac-12. They do have a non-conference game against a Pac-12 opponent, a big one tomorrow on the road in Tempe against the Sun Devils. We will have that game for you as well. That'll be a 6:35 first pitch. Our coverage will start at 6:20 tomorrow night here on Wildcats Radio 1290. A big game in the respects of the Territorial Cup Series, as the Wildcats need to win that game in order to at least earn a split of the Territorial Cup Series, provided that the two teams do not come up against each other again in the Pac-12 tournament, in which case that point could be decided at that.
That's a good question for Chip, right? Because this is a Tuesday bullpen type game where you're trying to get some work for some of the arms that don't necessarily get in the rotation Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sundays. And at the same time, DK, the gravity of the Territorial Cup and coming down to the stretch, right? It's how important is the Territorial Cup seasonal standings relative to a bullpen game?
Hale really cares anything about that, unfortunately. But yeah, that's the I mean, he's gonna do well. The good thing, I think, and I didn't see the line scores. Obviously, he did not have to use his bullpen at all on Saturday.
Yeah.
Which was a good thing. So you got some guys some rest. So they were. I don't know that they'll be in that situation like he talked about that they were in last Tuesday, where they got into an 8-8 game, and at one point they just decided that they were not going to use any of their high leverage guys. After that, they were just going to use freshmen. So he may be in a better situation this Tuesday with what they got out of the weekend to maybe use some of his regular arms tomorrow in Tempe if needed.
Doesn't it always fall in baseball and softball, right? So it's like you got 21, how many sports do they compete in, these two universities, and it always boils down to the very final sports of the calendar year. So if you ever get a situation where it's tied up, it's like no pressure, and 20 other sports have done it. We're pretty much even. You just guys have to get a win for the Territorial Cup season victory for the Cats. No pressure.
Let's do that. We want to see that happen. Yeah, they only used two guys yesterday. Casey Hintz pitched one inning, and Tonko Suzak continues to pitch well. He had a 1-2-3 ninth inning. So both those guys had 1-2-3 innings. So they didn't use a lot of pitches either. Casey Hintz only threw 8 pitches in his 8th inning, and Suzak only threw 11 in the 9th. So, I mean, he's got essentially a full bullpen if he wanted to do that for tomorrow in Tempe.
2:28 was the Sunday time on that game. So the complete game, obviously you're going to have a shorter, that was a 2:54 game, but that game you said with the two pitchers on Sunday, the 7-2 game, only went 2 hours and 25 minutes.
Yeah, we raved about, you'll hear from Clark Candiotti coming up, but Cam Waltz yesterday, 7 innings, 2 earned runs, 9 hits, scattered 9 hits and struck out 3. So he was pretty solid. He gave up a couple of runs in the 2nd inning and then shut down the Cardinal over the final 5 innings that he appeared in that ball game. And the Wildcats had a big 6-run 6th inning to win it by a score of 7-2. They are now 29-17 overall, 17-7 in the Pac-12, and again in first place by 2 games. All right, coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we'll get much more into this weekend in baseball as well as the weekend in tennis. We want to hear from you at 520-848-1290. It's DK on the Sports Tip. JW Madden is here. Cricket is here. And you are here with us as well. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. With collisions that are clearing eastbound I-10 near Orange Grove and also Cortero Farms Road and Camino de Oeste. Busy travel for Ajo Kino and also on westbound Ajo approaching Mission. 54 the low, sunny, 88 tomorrow, and 81 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And even cover your furry friends with pet health insurance. Visit Progressive.com or call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE.
We return now to Eugene Snarkle, UberTube video star, and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, what happened to just buying a new set of tires at Jack Furrier's?
Way too easy, Doug.
Yes, Eugene. Jack Furrier's makes buying tires easy. So what's up with all the rubber cement and electrical tape? And why are you putting it all over your tires?
It's basic science, Doug. This Uber hack should give me another 6 months on these old treads and make me locally world famous on UberTubes.
So you'll be risking your life. And your reputation.
Yes, Doug. It's all for my UberTube fans.
Well, could you at least wait a week before you try driving up Mount Lemon?
At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we make buying tires easy. Our local warehouse is filled with thousands of great options, all at one low price. If you need tires for your passenger car, truck, SUV, van, 4x4, RV, boat, or UTV, call us or go online to jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
We get you so close to McHale, it sounds like the Arizona Pep Band is riding in your back seat.
What the hell is going on?
This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
Coach Tommy Lloyd here. When I need a winning strategy for my team, nothing beats knowledge and skill. That's why I recommend Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing for all your home service needs. Having personally witnessed the impact of hard work and dedication, Right Way brings the same commitment to your home's comfort. Whether it's HVAC, plumbing, or electrical, their team always delivers excellence. With a legacy of quality service since 1959, you know you're in good hands. So give your home the best. Choose Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
Call or text 520-640-CATS or visit rightwayac.com.
Attention Tucson. Remember, if it's game day and the Wildcats are taking the floor, you can count on 1290 to bring you all the play-by-play action, the biggest pre- and post-game show in the Pac-12. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo from May 4th through the 11th at Nana's Kitchen, where everyone is treated like family. Located just north of Cortero off Arizona Pavilions Drive. Enjoy authentic Sonoran cuisine and award-winning cocktails. Nana's Kitchen also has a private selection of spirits and beer. As part of their Cinco de Mayo celebration, enjoy $5 reposado shots with Herradura, along with $5 805 cerveza pints, 2 for $5 bottles of Corona, Corona Light, Dos Equis, Pacifico, Modelo, and $5 Corazon Margarita. Life is always good with some CNS. You know, chips and salsa. You can never go wrong with their tacos, chimichangas, or burritos. Make that burrito enchilada style. Why not? Nana's Kitchen is always serving up amazing Mexican food, made with love, straight from Nana's heart. That's Nana's Kitchen. See you soon.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from Nana's Kitchen. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
3 little words no parent wants to hear.
My tummy hurts.
And it always seems to happen at the worst times. Like in the middle of the morning rush, when you still have homework to check and lunches to pack, and of course, you're already late for work. Luckily, there's Pepto Kids. Pepto Kids chewables provide fast relief for common stomach issues, turning those 3 words into these 3 words.
I feel better.
Bad time for stomach upsets? Good time for Pepto Kids chewables. Fast relief for little tummies. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
I thought learning a language would be too much work, but Babbel makes learning fun. J'aime Babbel.
Babbel's lessons only take 10 or 15 minutes, and soon you turn and realize, hey, I'm starting to speak another language. How'd that happen?
Babbel isn't robots talking. You learn words and phrases from real native speakers. I was ready for real-life conversations in just a few weeks. So easy.
Go to Babbel.com to try for free. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson, duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they
They drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names. David Scott Kelly.
Hour number 2 of the program on a Monday. How are you? So glad that you could be with us today. DK on the Sports Tip. Number to get in on the program is 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Arizona sports happening today. Round 1 of the NCAA Women's Golf Las Vegas Regional. Your Arizona Wildcats are there. They must finish top 5 in this event to advance to the NCAA championships, which are going to be out in Carlsbad, California. There are 12 teams, I believe, that are in this event. So they'll take 5 of the 12. Right now, your Arizona Wildcats, after round 1, are sitting tied for 6th with Oklahoma. The Wildcats are 2 shots, just 2 shots off that 5th position, which is currently held by Baylor. Right now, Arkansas 1, Florida State 2, Purdue, UCLA, and Baylor are the 5 that are in the qualifying spots right now. Arizona sitting at +6, 2 shots behind Baylor, 3 shots behind UCLA. Arkansas came in at -8. The Wildcats were a +6 on the day. So Arizona with some work to do, but in a good position still to qualify as they try to make the NCAA championships. Today's was round 1. Round 2 of action will be tomorrow in Las Vegas, with round 3 coming up on Wednesday. So that is what is happening with your ladies. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Let's talk to our guy, Bill McCullough from 520 Sports Talk, who is on the line. Bill, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, sir. It's a busy day with the Arizona Bowl announcements, and just other than that, a typical Monday morning. But I wanted to lend some insight on this game tomorrow between the Sun Devils and the Wildcats. I was up in Tempe for that Sun Devil-Washington series over the weekend, and the Devils took 2 out of 3. But the thing is the last game looked like a football score. 39 runs scored in a 21-18 extra inning affair over the Huskies.
That's ugly.
Yes, it is. And you know baseball. I mean, you've been in baseball long enough that normally you put a boatload of runs on the board in one game, you're hard-pressed to score runs the next game. I mean, and that's all the way from Little League up to MLB. It seems it works that way. But the Sun Devils, over the course of the season, they started out really well with great offense. They were scoring double-digit runs in all their victories, but they had to because of the fact that their pitching was not up to par. And then in the middle of the season, the offense went in the tank and the pitching kind of rose up. And so it's like they haven't Coach Bloomquist has not had good pitching and good hitting in the same games or series very often this year. And as of right now, as far as I know, they're slated to play that play-in game if the tournament started today for the Pac-12.
Yeah, they're 26 and 23 is the record. 14 and 13 right now they are in Pac-12 conference play. How many pitchers did they have to use yesterday? Do you know? You remember, Bill?
Oh, shoot, I lost track, but I think I remember at least 5 or 6. So they may have some weary arms. I'm not sure, but you know how it is just with the same with the Territorial Cup football game. It doesn't really matter as far as the records. You can throw those out the window. And if you look at the last 10 games, each team has won 5. So no big advantage to either team in that respect.
Yeah, they only used, you're right, 5 pitchers to give up 18 runs. That's not too bad. I mean, we've seen Arizona in some games use as many as 10 pitchers this season. So
yes, exactly.
It'll be interesting to see. You going to be up there for that one tomorrow?
I'm going to try to get up there. I don't know what's going on as far as I may have a show. I'm trying to reschedule it, but I would sure try.
And, of course, when you talk about the Arizona State Sun Devils, Isaiah Jackson starting for that team out of Cienega High School. Folks, if you got a chance to see it a few weeks ago, he made a brilliant over-the-wall catch in a game against UCLA, but isn't hitting much in terms of average, but does have 16 home runs on the season. He's hitting .252, but has 16 home runs and 56 RBIs. I would not have fashioned him. Well, that's actually, I'm sorry, for his career. That's his career. So he's got 8 home runs this season, 28 RBIs. Still, I would not have fashioned him a power hitter, a guy that could hit for a lot of power coming out of high school. But he's kind of showed that a little bit more, I think, than a lot of people thought in his first 2 seasons as a Sun Devil.
And I think a big key on that was he stayed at home a couple of summers ago and played in that Sun Belt league that plays over at Keno Stadium Complex, Bill Lee's outfit over there. And he got a lot of good tutelage from Josue Ortiz, who's a fabulous coach. And I think he really worked on his swing as far as hitting with power and following through more. I don't remember so much this year, but last year I know he had 2 walk-off home runs for the Sun Devils in his freshman campaign.
So it'll be interesting to kind of give him a follow. He's got 1 year left after this year, and then he'll be once again draft eligible. Was drafted out of high school, out of Cienega, but opted to not sign and go on to play college baseball. His brother Andre, of course, has appeared in the big leagues with the Los Angeles Dodgers as a pitcher in recent seasons. So continued success to Isaiah Jackson as he follows his baseball dreams up there for the Sun Devils. Again, it'll be a 6:35 first pitch. We'll have coverage beginning at 6:20. What did you make, before we let you go, Bill, what did you make of the Snoop Dogg Barstool, or is it the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice today?
I thought it was fantastic. I followed the Arizona Bowl since its inception, and this will be year number 10, the COVID year withstanding, but it was a great leap forward, I feel. They've been taking small steps here and there and kind of stepped out of their comfort zone with the Barstool contract the last few years, and that actually had turned out fairly well. I asked Eric Rhodes today about the viewership because it was a streaming bowl game as opposed to cable or network, and they said they had 1.9 million viewers last year on that bowl game, so that bodes well for them. And if you look at the end of the year, I believe it's ESPN that does bowl rankings as far as most exciting bowl to the most boring bowl, and the Arizona Bowl has always last few years finished in the top 20 of the bowl games. Now I know there's probably more bowls than there should be, but that bodes well for them. I think the team of Kim and Ali and the rest of the Arizona Bowl committee does a great job. I think this is going to be excellent. I asked the question, would Snoop be part of like the halftime show? And they said they're working on it, and there's a good possibility. So just as the Super Bowl, a lot of people that aren't necessarily football fans watch it for the halftime show, you may get that extra viewership or even people in the seats if that does come to fruition.
Yeah, it'll be fun, whether he performs or not. Just his sheer presence there will, I think, be entertaining enough in itself, for sure. Hey, Bill, always appreciate you checking in. Look forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, my man. Take care.
Bill McCulloch from 520-602 Sports Talk. 520 down here in southern Arizona, 602 up in that place to the north. All right, 520. I'll give you some more numbers now. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on our program. We'll just confuse you with all kinds of numbers today.
7, 9, 4. I'm saying numbers too.
Now you're doing lottery. It sounds like you're calling.
No, I'm just random numbers. You're doing random numbers to listeners. Might as well.
You sound like the guy at 10 o'clock. The Powerball is 40. I do have, folks, for you. In fact, I've got 2, not 1, but I've got 2 sweet deals for you. You know, I am the sweet deal king of Tucson, Arizona. I've got 2 sweet deals for you. I'm going to tell you about the first one right now. How about Nana's Kitchen? Who knew? Who knew that? Because, I mean, Nana is a very common name for grandma, right? That was one of my mother's sister. She went by Nana. I didn't have any Nanas. All my grandmothers were grandma or grandmom or something of that nature, but some grandmas go as Nana. Nana's got a kitchen here in Tucson, and I've got a sweet deal for you. This sweet deal is going to go on sale Friday at 8:30 a.m. at wildcatsradio1290.com. Nana's Kitchen. Maybe you were there yesterday for Cinco de Mayo. It's located just north of Cortero in the Arizona Pavilions Drive. You can enjoy authentic Sonoran cuisine, award-winning cocktails. Nana's Kitchen also has a private selection, I should say, of spirits and beer. And yesterday for Cinco de Mayo, they had Raspado shots for $5. I mean, it was a $5 thing everywhere. We went to a spot yesterday and had some $5 margaritas. Those will give you a headache for sure.
Depends how many you have.
Oh, you really only need to have one.
Depends if you're sitting in direct sunlight, too.
Because I played golf, and then we went and had the $5 margaritas. And I went home, and I think we were asleep by like 7:30 and slept all night long. I mean, it was a good nap, to say the least. Anyway, not the $5 sweet deal. The sweet deal is free. You don't have to pay for that. I'm going to give you, well, you do have to pay for it. What am I talking about? But I'm going to give you a gift certificate, $50 for just $25 coming up this Friday. That's a great sweet deal for Nana's Kitchen. Head on over to wildcatsradio1290.com, wildcatsradio1290.com on Friday, 8:30, and get your sweet deal for Nana's Kitchen.
That means you could get 10 margaritas for the price of 5, DK. That's pretty good.
Wait, 10 for the price?
Yeah, it's 2 for 1. You get you get $50 gift certificate for $25.
Yes, that is. Well, you're absolutely right. You could get 10 of those great margaritas. That is something for sure. That you'll really have a headache.
And then you'll have a good nap.
You have a good, maybe too good of a nap for sure. All right. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Some slowdowns at Ajo and Mission, also some more slowing at Ajo and Keno. Bridge construction work, Avra Valley Road west of I-10, Avra Valley Road over the Santa Cruz River through mid-July. And for your weather, 54 the low, sunny, 88 tomorrow, and 81 now. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Indeed.com. Need to hire? You need Indeed. Their end-to-end solution helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all year round. Schedule and conduct virtual interviews right from your Indeed dashboard. Learn more by visiting Indeed.com/credit.
DK on the Sports Tip, 3 to 6 weekdays.
So I wore my fancy new Christmas boots that my wife got me.
Ow, it don't hurt.
Got a cramp. See?
Gotta stretch before you do that.
Oh, my hip.
Stop trying to do crazy gymnastics in the studio.
Wildcats Radio 1290.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Wildcats Radio 1290 has a chance for you to win one of 3 trips to see the Taylor Swift Eras Tour this fall. Winners receive round-trip airfare for 2, a 2-night hotel stay, 2 tickets to the concert, and $500 in spending cash. This is your text word, Woods. Text Woods right now to 95819. That's 95819. Listen weekdays between 6 a.m. and 7 p.m. for your text keyword to win tickets to see Taylor Swift on the Eras Tour. Only on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Honey, our yard's full of weeds. Looks like a jungle and the neighbors are complaining.
I know. I'm trying to get rid of them, but the product I'm using, it doesn't work.
Oh.
Not to mention, I don't have the time.
But it's not just weeds.
Not?
No, I'm seeing ants.
Ants?
Yeah, and spiders.
Ooh, spiders.
I know, and I think I saw a scorpion.
No way.
Yes way, and there's a pack rat in our garage.
Ew. Okay, I'll call University Termite and Pest Control today. We'll get rid of all of them.
Okay, honey, thank you.
University Termite and Pest Control, locally owned. Find them online at bepestfree.com.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center. Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com. Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
Celebrate Cinco de Mayo from May 4th through the 11th at Nana's Kitchen, where everyone is treated like family. Located just north of Cortero off Arizona Pavilions Drive. Enjoy authentic Sonoran cuisine and award-winning cocktails. Nana's Kitchen also has a private selection of spirits and beer. As part of their Cinco de Mayo celebration, enjoy $5 Reposado shots with Herradura, along with $5 805 cerveza pints, 2 for $5 bottles of Corona, Corona Light, Dos Equis, Pacifico, Modelo, and $5 Corazon Margaritas. Life is always good with some CNS. You know, chips and salsa. You can never go wrong with their tacos, chimichangas, or burritos. Make that burrito enchilada style. Why not? Nana's Kitchen is always serving up amazing Mexican food, made with love, straight from Nana's heart. That's Nana's Kitchen. See you soon.
And this Friday, we have a sweet deal for you from Nana's Kitchen. You can get a $50 gift certificate for just $25. And this sweet deal will go on sale this Friday morning at 8:30 at wildcatsradio1290.com.
Truck season. It all starts with a few simple rules. Rule number 1, buy a truck from O'Reilly Chevrolet during truck season. Rule number 2, who cares? Truck drivers are notorious for breaking the rules. Help us celebrate our 100-year anniversary and take a test drive in Motor Trend's Truck of the Year, the all-new Chevy Colorado. See us on Broadway next to Park Place Mall. Call 747-8000 or see us at O'Reilly.com. Rules are made to be broken. Trucks are made to be driven. O'Reilly Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Wildcats Radio 1290 is everywhere. Wildcats fans can listen to us everywhere on our all-new app. Now available from the Google Play Store and the App Store for iPhone users. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. Arizona baseball in first place in the Pac-12 Conference after a sweep, a 3-game sweep over the Stanford Cardinal. They needed the bats big time on Friday night.
The payoff pitch now from Matt Scott, and that one driven down the right field line. That is a fair ball. Extra bases for Summerhill. Nadi has to dig it out of the corner. Summerhill's going to make the turn. He's going to try for 3. Here's the relay throw. It's not in time. It's a leadoff triple for Brendan Summerhill. Well, the Wildcats, and they love this ballpark. They lead the Pac-12 in triples. They're 6th in the nation in that department. It's the 20th triple Arizona's hit this season. Here's the 2-1 to the plate, and that's hit in the air to center field. Back on that one is Hott, still going back, and it's over his glove and all the way to the wall. In to score is Kane. Around second is T.J. Adams. He's headed for third. He's in there. RBI triple, and the Cats lead at 3-1. Mikalakis at the plate. Blake McDonald on deck. Mikalakis drives one out to right center field. That's down for a base hit. Corona's going to be waved around third. He will come in to score. Mikalakis trying for the double. He slides. He's safe. And the Cats lead at 5-2. The payoff pitch is driven to left for a base hit. Mikalakis around third. He will score. Making the turn, McDonald headed for third. And the Wildcats lead at 8-5. The 2-1 to the plate. That's driven to left for a base hit. In to score will come Caulfield. Corona going to be stopped at third. And the Wildcats now lead at 10-8. Susak set for his 0-1. And here it is. And it's a bouncer down to Mikalakis. Scoop it up on the short hop. Fired at first for the out. That is the inning. That's the ball game. And the Wildcats get game 1 of this 3-game series as they beat the Stanford Cardinal 12-8.
Not the best start for Jackson Kent, the Friday night arm for Arizona. He allowed 5 earned runs in 4 2/3 innings to 100 pitches in those 4 2/3 innings. But the backside of the bullpen with Dawson Netz, Tony Pluta, Matthew Martinez, and Anthony Susak, they were pretty good. 3 1/3 innings, allowed no runs on 3 hits, and had 3 strikeouts to just 1 walk as they shut the door down the stretch for a 12-8 win. 2 RBIs for Maddox Mikalakis, 2 RBIs for Blake McDonald. How about another 2 RBIs for Andrew Kane? So Andrew Kane, with that night, had driven in runs in 4 straight games. 8 RBIs in 4 games for the freshman from Ironwood Ridge High School. Then Saturday night, Chip Hale handed the ball to his ace right now, Clark Candiati.
On the hill, as mentioned, Clark Candiati, the senior out of Scottsdale, right-hander with a 4-2 record at 3.36 ERA. Candiati making his 12th start this season. He struck out 70 and walked 18 in 61 2/3 innings of work. Here's the 1-2 pitch now, and it's a ground ball to the right side. Splain will scoop it up, and he'll toss to Candiati covering for the out, and the inning is over. First pitch here, ground ball to the right side. Caulfield gobbles it up, and he'll throw to first for the out, and just like that, inning over. Swing and a miss for strike 3. Check swing by Becerra, and the inning is over. Second strikeout for Candiati. Cardinal go 1-2-3. We go to the bottom of the third. 2 out, bases empty here in the fourth. McDonald to the plate. First pitch hit in the air towards center field. Summerhill back and to his left. He'll make the catch. And the Cardinal down 1-2-3. The 2-1 pitch. And that's hit in the air to right and deep. Corona back, but looks like he has room at the track. He'll make the catch, and the inning is over. And Candiati through 5 has faced the minimum. 3 up and 3 down. The 1-0 to him is hit in the air. Center field. Summerhill coming in on that one. Underneath it to make the catch. Another 1-2-3 inning for Clark Candiati. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Arizona 3, Stanford nothing. And the first pitch here to Cobb puts a bunt down and a good one up with it. Mikalakis, he'll fire to first, not in time. And so Cobb will beat it out for a bunt single. So prior to that, 13 in a row retired by Candiati. Second hit of the night for Stanford. The 3-2 pitch to Moore is a ground ball, scooped up by White. He'll throw to first for the out, inning over. No runs, 1 hit. And 1 left. Nice recovery there by Clark Candiati. Keeps the shutout going. The 1-2. Strike 3 called, and the inning is over. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the 8th. 3-2. Here it is to Moore. Hit in the air to right. Corona's got a play on it. Coming near the foul line. He is there. He makes the catch. Inning over. Game over. Complete game shutout. Clark Candiati, mobbed by his teammates, and why not?
119 pitches on a 5-hit shutout. Did not walk a single batter. Struck out 7, did Clark Candiati, to beat the Stanford Cardinal on Saturday night 5-0. Was at that game. He was just fabulous. This was a guy, again, we talked to him on Friday. He had been averaging, he had gone the 1 game, he had pitched a complete game against UCLA, but he'd been averaging just 5 2/3 innings per start. So he wasn't even really getting completely through the 6th in most of his start. And in the start in Washington and Seattle, he had 100 pitches in 5 innings. But he had his game going on Saturday night as he goes the distance for the second time this year. Afterward, Chip Hale on the Candy Cat, dominating.
Clark had only had that one start where he got deep into the game against UCLA. What did he do different tonight that allowed him to get to the night?
I just think he was landing his breaking ball a ton. I mean, honestly, it didn't seem like he was getting a lot of called strikes. I mean, he got a lot of swinging strikes. We played good defense behind him. There wasn't a whole lot of, long, fly balls to the wall. So obviously he was missing barrels.
That's 2 nights in a row that the starter for Stanford has had to change what they do,
right?
Because of what you guys have
correct
at the plate. Okay.
Correct.
I mean, is that maybe a sign that your lineup is getting more of a reputation that making pitchers?
Well, I think that the pitching coach Eager did a nice job of sort of realizing what we were kind of looking for maybe, and changed course, and it did mess us up for a while. But I don't know if it's reputation. I just think day to day, our guys are getting more disciplined. That one thing we talked about from day one is an approach against certain pitchers every night, and we talked about being immature. We weren't sticking to that approach, and I think we're starting to get to the point where guys are sticking to it.
The decision to switch Guerin and Mason and have Guerin in the 3-hole seems like it's worked.
Yeah, I wanted somebody that because Adonis was doing so well for a while there. He got hurt, he was out, and we know Guerin's a guy in this league that's got a reputation. So if you don't throw strikes to Mason, you're going to have to face Guerin with guys on base.
Of reviews tonight. What were you seeing out there in terms of the plays that you wanted them to look at?
No, they're just they're just close plays. When you're playing, there's nobody calling down to tell you like in the major leagues, hey, review it. So sometimes you look at your player, he gives me the ears, so I did it. So I like to have done the last one with Maddox, but we didn't have any left.
Now, you talked about earlier, J-Dub, that game, the Friday night, or the Sunday game was like 2.5 hours. That game was 3.5 hours because it seemed like they were reviewing every other play in that game because there were a lot of close plays. Like he said, some of them were being initiated by the Wildcats. There were a few that were initiated by Stanford, but I stopped counting after like 4 reviews in that game.
You know how there's some players, doesn't matter the sport, who to their core believe they've never committed a foul ever. Right. And so when they complain to refs or whatever, I heard this in an NBA game over the weekend where a coach has certain players they trust. So if a certain player has a foul called against them and they turn to the bench and wave their hands with the symbol to review it, they trust them because they don't lie. And then there's other players where in film room you can see them complaining about the call and it's quite clear that they raked him across it. So it's interesting these days. Like Skip said right there, when you have a game like that where there's just a ton of really close calls, it's interesting when the player comes back, DK, to you and says, I got it. There's always got to be those players that you trust explicitly, and then somewhere maybe they may bend the truth a little bit.
Maybe they got some cameras in there. Maybe they need somebody up in the booth to call down and say, Chip, yeah, review that. Chip, don't review that one.
Yeah, I think the budget maybe doesn't call for that extra position right now at the moment.
No, I don't think Desiree's not going to sign off on that type of technology. No. All right, Clark Candiotti, let's hear from the guy that pitched the gem on Saturday night.
No, I didn't hear anything. I just went out there and treated it like the first inning. Just go after every hitter just the same way. Attack the zone all night.
Why were you think you were so efficient tonight in terms of your pitches and your pitch count, keeping it low to be able to go deeper than maybe you've gone before?
I think it's just a matter of getting ahead of hitters and just attacking every guy, try to get them out 4 pitches or less, and just, let the defense work. And they've been brilliant all year, especially tonight. But it's just the same game over and over, just attack every hitter.
Clark Candiotti, and guess what, J-Dub?
What's that?
We finally got an award. We finally got an award. Clark Candiotti.
Oh, Candiotti.
Clark Candiotti is the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week.
Did Cal have the week off or something, or what?
Exactly, right? Jesus. You win like 11 Pac-12 games in a row, go almost a month without losing a conference game, and you can't get any conference awards. Well, finally, Arizona got one. Clark Candiotti is the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week for this performance against the Stanford Cardinals on Saturday night.
If you go 9 innings scoreless pitching, DK, that is so tough to do at this level. mean, how often does that even happen?
Well, let me caught Candiotti's shutout. First toss by an Arizona pitcher since June of 2021, so almost 3 seasons ago, when you'll remember Garrett Irvin shut out Santa Barbara in the regional here in Tucson. So that was the last time that had happened.
I guess what I'm saying is, like, if you're a starting pitcher who goes 9 innings and doesn't give up a run,
yeah.
If you don't win pitcher of the week, it's because someone threw a perfect game or a no-hitter or some such.
You would think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just, again, a brilliant performance. 5 base runners, no walks. At one point, the Scottsdale native retired 14 consecutive Stanford batters.
And then the 15th was a bunt that that just got away. So
he's now 5-2, and opponents, or actually his ERA now is 2.12 on the season. 2.12 ERA on the season. The second complete game of the season. So that is the first times in 7 years, a Arizona Wildcat pitcher has had 2 complete games in 1 season. Cameron Ming was the last to do that. And then on Sunday, as the Wildcats would go for a sweep, it would be a big 6th inning. They would fall down in this game 2-0, but then in the 6th, they would put up a big number. Emilio Corona got things going.
And the pitch, Corona lines it towards left field. McDonald lets it fall in front of him for a base hit. White will come in to score, and we're tied at 2. RBI number 29 for Emilio Corona.
And then Andrew Kane, we've been talking a lot about Andrew Kane out of Ironwood Ridge High School. So he didn't have any RBIs on Saturday, but he had some RBIs on Sunday.
And here's the pitch, and he hits that one to left center field. That could be trouble. Hot going back. That gets by him. Headed for the 4-10 marker. In to score Caulfield. Corona around third. He will score. Cats lead 4-2.
So Andrew Kane with the big hit to give the Wildcats the lead, and then Brandon Summerhill will keep things going.
Cam Walty watching this game from the dugout. Now has a 2-run lead. Summerhill trying to add to that, and he rips it deep to right field. I do mean deep. Reynolds back. That ball is to the wall. 1 run scores, 2 runs scores, 3 across, a 3-run double for Brendan Summerhill, and the Cats have broken it open here in the bottom of the 6th inning. RBIs 44, 45, and 46 for Summerhill. Another extra base hit for the Wildcats. And he cleans them here. Kane, Splain, and Adams all scoring. It's a 7-2 Arizona lead. First one to Cobb, popped up, short left field. Back is Mason White, makes a basket catch for out number 3. That is the inning. That is the ball game, and that is the series. A fitting way to end it here in the 9th as the Wildcats sweep out the Cardinal by a final today of 7-2 for Stanford in the 9th. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. Arizona 7, Stanford 2. That is your final.
So a 3-game sweep for the Wildcats. And I want to go back to Andrew Kane one more time for a second here. He now has 10 runs batted in the last 6 games.
Wow.
Dating back to the 2nd game at Washington last week. He drove in a run there, 2 or 3 runs in the finale at Washington, 2 against GCU, 2 again the first game against Stanford, and 2 yesterday. So he's got 10 RBIs in the last 6 games for the freshman out of Ironwood Ridge High School.
Didn't Chip say last week it was really hard keeping him off the field?
Well, I mean, he's swinging a bat like that right now. His hitting streak ended in the Saturday game, but he now has, and he's getting a lot of multi-hit games. Even going back to, I'm looking just right now, he's been hitless in just 3 games, and looks like the last 12, and he's got 5 multi-hit games in that stretch, going back to Louisiana Tech, which is back in mid-April. So he is really swinging a nice bat over the course of the last month for the Arizona Wildcats. Next up, ASU in Tempe tomorrow night. You'll hear it right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290. All right, coming up, Arizona Tennis advances to the Sweet 16. We'll let you hear from them as well. Plus, we got some transfers. from the Arizona football team, headed up to a place called Seattle. We'll dive into that as well. DK on the sports tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collisions reported Los Reales near Mission on Los Reales to the west of Mission. That was a hit-and-run wreck. And on the completely opposite side of town, up north in Oro Valley, collision at Oracle and Pushview Lane and Oracle. For our weather overnight, clear skies, 54 the low, sunny 88 tomorrow and 81 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by ChumbaCasino.com.
Play social games online for free. Head to ChumbaCasino.com now to join the Chumba fun and experience the thrill of the Chumba life. VGW Group. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. See terms and conditions. 18+.
We return now to Eugene Snarkle, UberTube video star, and his best friend Doug.
Eugene, what happened to just buying a new set of tires at Jack Furrier's?
Way too easy, Doug.
Yes, Eugene. Jack Furrier's makes buying tires easy. So what's up with all the rubber cement and electrical tape? And why are you putting it all over your tires?
It's basic science, Doug. This Uber hack should give me another 6 months on these old treads and make me locally world famous on UberTubes.
So you'll be risking your life. And your reputation.
Yes, Doug. It's all for my UberTube fads.
Well, could you at least wait a week before you try driving up Mount Lemon?
At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we make buying tires easy. Our local warehouse is filled with thousands of great options, all at one low price. If you need tires for your passenger car, truck, SUV, van, 4x4, RV, boat, or UTV, call us or go online to jackfurriers.com. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Most financial advisors I know have had a moment in their career where they thought, with more control, I would do things differently for my client's sake. This is Natalie Fernandez with Meridian Wealth Management, and our firm was created by advisors with the understanding that we need flexibility, control, and decision-making power to create the best experience for our clients. If you're an advisor interested in learning more about our growing firm, call me at 719-1433 to talk more today.
Advisory services provided by Meridian Wealth Management, a registered investment advisor.
At Goldberg & Osborne, we fight. We fight for accident victims, injured workers, abused seniors, those harmed by dogs, negligence, or malpractice. We fight the government and big corporations. And most importantly, we fight the insurance companies. We've been fighting for Arizonans since 1989. We go to court, we fight, and we win. Call Goldberg & Osborne and let the Eagle fight for you. Now accepting work injury cases.
Your home for in-depth conversation.
Nothing they do is by surprise. They telegraph what they want to do, and then they brag about it afterwards. It's a way to keep us at each other's throats.
The most pressing issues.
This was just a white on black crime, and you can already see the narrative starting to form in real time.
And fresh perspective.
The air marshals will not be on the airplanes because they're down at the border escorting illegal aliens to their Ubers.
America's most loved truth tellers live on Tucson's home for conservative talk. This is Freedom 1400.
Progressive asks, what do a middle school slumber party,
Let's stay up all night. Yeah!
a sleep-deprived girl, an early morning paper route, and a poorly thrown rolled-up newspaper have in common?
Hey, my window!
They can become a fast-breaking news story.
Sorry, Mr. Thompson.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Ready for a staycation?
Hey guys, Taylor Swift here. We're ready. Are you?
Keep listening for your chance to win one of 3 trips to see Taylor Swift on the Eras Tour this fall.
Shake it off.
You and your bestie with Round Trip Air, a hotel room for tonight, and 2 tickets to the hottest tour on the planet.
I'm having a blast on my tour, and I want to fly you out to join me.
Your next chance to text a nationwide keyword happens soon.
Welcome to the Eras Tour.
DK on the Sports Tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is the final week of our Taylor Swift promotion, with you having an opportunity to go see the concert, the Eras Tour in New Orleans. I will give you a keyword to text coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. You have just 5 more days, 4 days after today, because we'll have just one more keyword today, and then 4 more tomorrow, 4 more Wednesday, 4 more Thursday, and 4 more Friday. Programming notes, only 3 shows this week. We'll be with you Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday this week. We'll be off Thursday and Friday, and then we'll also be off Monday and Tuesday of next week. So 3 shows this week, 3 shows next week. Front half of the week this week, back half of the week next week for DK on the Sports Tip. And we'll be back out at High Corbett Field for the final series of the season against Oregon State senior weekend. That will be, we'll be out there for the Friday night game, which will actually be game 2 of that series, because that series will be a Thursday, Friday, Saturday series leading into the Pac-12 tournament, which will start, I believe, the following Wednesday in Scottsdale. So all the series are moved up a day for that final weekend of Pac-12 conference play coming up. So should be fun, and we'll be out there right in the middle of it, because that could be for a Pac-12 championship. The Wildcats could, in fact, that night, who knows, be playing for a Pac-12 championship.
They got a 2-game lead with 6 to go?
2-game lead with 6 to go.
Yeah, 6 games to go.
Absolutely. So got to close that out. Meanwhile, U of A men's tennis. I mentioned at the top of the show, I had a chance to get out to the Robson Tennis Center. Great crowd out there on Saturday for the fellows as they were hosting Auburn in the second round of the tournament. They had beaten Boise State in a shutout on Friday 4-0, but it was tight. And we were talking about it during the show. It was a very tight match. The doubles side of it, all 3 of the doubles matches went to tiebreakers, with the Wildcats winning 2 of the 3 tiebreakers. And then I think they won all the first sets, but then were losing some of the second sets against Boise State before they were able to close it out. And I don't think Clancy was real happy with the way that things went on Friday. But the fellows really came out and put on a show Saturday to knock off the Auburn Tigers, winning the doubles point and then winning 3 of the singles points to take the match 4-0. Wildcats are now 26-3 on the season. And you know what's funny about this? Just, again, I've covered a lot of tennis over the course of the last 10 years as this program has started to get real good. It used to be like when I first started in TV, you'd go out to maybe 1 match a year, and that was the ASU match, and that would be it. But as Clancy came in and really started putting his program together, and Ryan Stotland on the women's side, you get out to a few more matches, start to show them a lot more love as they were starting to really play a whole lot better. But so Saturday, you're trying to be on the match. You've got 6 singles matches going on at one time. So you're looking up at the big board and you're trying to figure out, well, where's this going to end? Is it going to end on court 1? Is it going to end on court 2? Could it end on court 3? And you're trying to be closest to the closest court so you get the best shot when it happens, right? So Saturday, it looked like it was actually between courts 1 and 3, which was where it was going to end. So I was on court 1, which was Colton Smith was playing on that, and he was up, I think, 5-2, and he lost on serve, off serve, so it was 5-3. And I said, okay, well, I'm gonna jump over to court 3 because that was in a tiebreaker, and it looked like it was about to end, and Gustav Strom was on that court. So I jump over to court 3, hoping that's gonna be the clincher, and I can get the good video, and that one went to 8 points. It was I think it was 5-5 when I got over there.
Right.
And it goes to 8 points. And so it ended up ending on court 1, and I didn't get the good shot video that I wanted because I was stuck on court 3. But it was one of those things. It's all of us were like I was there and a couple of the other media guys, and we're kind of jumping around okay, should we go to court 1? Should we go to court 3? Where do you think it's going to end? It was funny like that. But it ended on court one with one of the captains, Colton Smith, closing out his match to get the victory as Colton won 7-5, 6-3 on court one. He spoke afterward, and Colton on the Wildcats playing a much better match against Auburn than they did the day before against Boise State.
Yeah, definitely. I think this was a lot closer to kind of our standard of what we expect on our team. I think there's still a lot of room for improvement, a lot more that we can do to be better. But, yeah, definitely a lot happier with today's performance than yesterday.
What was the message? Because Clancy had indicated that he was not happy with the way you guys played, even though you won 4-zip yesterday.
Yeah, he just wanted us to kind of play, I guess he quoted, inspirational tennis. Everybody came out and they're paying to come here, and we weren't too inspiring yesterday, and so kind of give the crowd a little bit more. And then it's our last match here for what we all we know, and so yeah, go out with a bang.
Do you think having played in New York earlier this year kind of helps you guys heading into this match against Columbia? Yeah,
absolutely. I think we got a handful of days there, and so we know the courts pretty well. It's going to be outdoors, so it'll be a little different, but it's going to be familiar, which will be nice. And hopefully this year we'll be a lot healthier.
What did you make of the environment in the crowd today?
Oh, it was amazing. I love playing here, and to have everybody, I think everybody was a little bit aware that this was going to be our last match, and so they came and they all brought it, and yeah, it was great.
What does Herman mean to you guys? Obviously a veteran 4 years here. He's got a C on his chest just like you do. What does he mean to this group?
Oh, he means so much. I mean, I'm trying not to think about the last match with him, and that's going to be a sad one. But yeah, he's been so great for this program, and just being able to have a guy that you can count on at that number 4 position, and somebody that you can count on to get the match over with quick and put another point up on that board. But yeah, just in general, he brings so much energy to the team, which is what Coach is preaching about all the time and what we need.
All right, so that's Colton Smith talking after the 4-zip victory over Auburn on Saturday. The Wildcats are the number 9 national seed, so they will take on Columbia. Remember we were talking about the Ivy League last week. They'll get the Columbia. What is Columbia? You know what their nickname is?
Ooh, I do not.
No. Columbia knocked off Michigan 4-2, so it'll be the 9-8 match on Saturday in Columbia, New York. Now, I'm not exactly sure how this works for the round of the quarterfinals. I think for the quarterfinals, everybody goes to, I think that's the following week in it's going to be in Stillwater this year. So I think you only play one match this week, and then you go to Stillwater the following week for the quarterfinals, the semifinals, and the finals. I believe that's how it works in college tennis. So it'll be Arizona and Columbia. The winner of that game will likely get the number 1 seed, and that's the Ohio State Buckeyes in the quarterfinals, and that would be in Columbia. Still left as well in this tournament, Stanford upset Oklahoma. So the Cardinal, who tied for the Pac-12 conference title with Arizona, also in the Sweet 16. They'll take on Wake Forest. Virginia is the number 3 seed. They will play South Carolina. Tennessee, the number 7, will play the number 10 Florida State Seminoles. Texas A&M will play rival Texas. That's a 15-2 matchup, with the 2 being the Longhorns. Duke and TCU, that's the 4-13 matchup. The Horned Frogs being the number 4. So that's a matchup to look forward to down the line in the Big 12 era, as TCU, one of the top teams in the country. And the 5-12 matchup will pit Kentucky against another Ivy League team, Harvard. So those will be your matchups.
I know Harvard are the Crimson
on the men's side. Yeah.
And now I know that Columbia are
Bulldogs,
the Lions.
The Lions,
because everybody knows New York City synonymous with Lions.
Okay. I did not know that New York City was synonymous with Lions.
I don't think they are. I just, I think Lion. I think everybody wants their mascot to be some kind of big predatory cat. Seems like,
right.
But Lion can't get much stronger than that. At Columbia, 8,000 student body there. DK.
Yeah.
8,000.
8,000. Ladies, unfortunately, did not win their initial match. They were knocked out in the opening round of the NCAA Women's Regional down in Texas. They lost to Oklahoma 4-0. But congratulations to Ryan Stotland and his ladies on a tremendous season, as hopefully they can now use this year as a building block to much better future success next year and getting deeper and potentially maybe even hosting a regional like the fellas did. Can you imagine that, hosting two regionals at the same time? That would be crazy. But that's what we would like to get to. Also, on the campus side, this came down just after our show ended on Friday. Augie Busch out as the head coach of the Arizona swimming programs. We had talked about that over the course of the last few weeks, how Arizona swimming has essentially fallen off a cliff the last few years. They scored no points on the women's side at the NCAA championships this past year and finished, I believe it was 25th on the men's side, just not where Arizona swimming used to be in the height of the Frank Busch era here at the University of Arizona. Augie's dad, who, had the Wildcats routinely in the top 5 on both the women's and the men's side, and you're turning out, Olympic swimmer after Olympic swimmer. The Wildcats really have not had an Olympic swimmer since Kevin Cordes, and I believe Kevin retired like 3-4 years ago. And really, the only Olympian out of the pool is on the diving side of late with Delaney Schnell. So they've got a lot of work to do over there with the Arizona men's and women's swimming programs. We'll dive into maybe that a little bit more tomorrow. Some of the candidates, there are a lot of alums that are out there in various head coaching positions, assistant coaching positions throughout the United States with big programs, with smaller programs. But a lot of people are wondering, is it time? And we have this conversation all the time here at the University of Arizona when we talk about these coaches, these programs that have had legacy coaches. Is it time to move away from that tree? Is it time to go outside of the Frank Busch tree to find the next coach for the University of Arizona? This will be the first hire for new athletics director Desiree Reed-Francois, just like Augie Busch was the first hire for Dave Hickey back when he arrived in 2017. And this is, again, it's one you'd like to hope that you can get right, because there is no reason that this swim program should not be where it was. And that's at least top 15, at least top 15 in the country. You got Olympians that are training here. Matt Grievous didn't go to University of Arizona, but for his entire Olympic career, he trained here. So there's no reason you shouldn't have one of the best swimming programs in the country. So we'll see if Desiree Reed-Francois can make that the first of what I'm sure will be, we hope it won't be many hires. We don't want to see her having to fire and hire coaches all the time.
They did a lot of hiring right before she got here, so hopefully not too many.
So, but this will be the first one, and we'll see if how Desiree Reed-Francois goes there, if she chooses to go outside the box, outside the family, or if she chooses to maybe choose someone that has an Arizona lineage attached to their name. If you have thoughts on that, I know there's a lot of you in the swimming community here. I'd like to hear from you. Who do you want to see run your program? 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. Who's the right person? Is it somebody within the family? Somebody that swam for Coach Busch, Frank Busch? Or is it somebody outside the program? Do we need a different voice with a different mindset than the legacy that we've had here over the course of the last, going back almost 30, 40 years? We'll take those calls as well. 520-848-1290. Much more coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. It's DK on the Sports Tip. I'm David Kelly. JW Madden is here. Cricket as well. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats, Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions Los Reales near Mission, a hit-and-run wreck on Los Reales to the west of Mission, and in Oro Valley, Oracle and Pushview Lane and Oracle. 54 the low, sunny, 88 tomorrow, and 80 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Macy's Backstage. Mother's Day is coming up, and Macy's Backstage has amazing deals on great gifts that Mom is going to love, all for $15 and under. Get low prices every day at Macy's Backstage. Find a store near you today at macysbackstage.com. Off price, on trend, arriving daily.
This is Jim Rome with your Rome Report. I don't know about the greatest roast of all time, because nowadays, anytime anything isn't horrible, it seemingly is the greatest thing ever, which is pretty lame. That was not the best roast ever, but man, it was much better than expected. I mean, not all of it. Some of it was cringe, some of it was awkward, some of it was straight up painful. No names mentioned. Looking at you, Ben Affleck. But it was a legit roast. Sometimes hilarious, sometimes cringe, especially a live, unedited, 3+ hour marathon of a roast. This is why I expected to be bored to tears, but man, was I wrong. All of them going in on Tom Brady was actually thoroughly enjoyable, because we all know there are plenty of things to rag on this guy about, which is why I'm not exactly sure why he volunteered for it in the first place. But the fact that he endured all 3+ hours and came out the other end, I gotta put some respect on that bacon face.
O'Reilly. Extend the life of your engine with regular oil changes and save at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Right now, pick up 5 quarts of O'Reilly full synthetic motor oil and a MicroGuard oil filter for $31.99. Or upgrade to a MicroGuard Select filter for just $2 more. Limit supply, available in-store only at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Are you the parent of a 2 to 7-year-old? Listen closely for an exciting free radio offer. By now, you've probably heard of ABC Mouse, the Parents' Choice Award-winning online learning program that's actually changing the lives of early learners everywhere.
ABC Mouse is like a little one-on-one teacher. It has helped her so much.
Right now, we're offering a special radio promo to try it free for a month, but you have to go to abcmouse.com/radio to claim your free month. That's abcmouse.com/radio. Sponsored by Age of Learning.
The Wildcats play here. This is your home of Arizona Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball. This is the home of the Wildcats. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better, Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Remember to tune in to Wildcats Radio 1290 for the biggest pregame show in the Pac-12. Because that's how we roll. We go on the air 4 hours before every football and men's basketball game all season long. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. And Sunday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be a sign that your digestive system isn't working at its best? Taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil fiber powders help promote your daily digestive health using a plant-based fiber called psyllium. The gelling action of this special fiber traps and removes waste so you can feel lighter and more energetic. Metamucil, promoting digestive health for a better you. Learn more at metamucil.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Get the backyard you've always wanted with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you're ready to dive in, then visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Schedule now and get 3 months of full service free. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilders.com. First Choice Pools, the first and only choice.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball, along with all the play-by-play action. We are Wildcats Radio 1290. Live from the CNWT.
From the what? Central Northwest Tucson. Duh.
It's DK on the Sports Tip with your host, David Kelly.
Radio. Just when I thought I was out, they drug me back in.
Featuring J.W. Madden.
Don't tell me about flip-flops, man. I'm a native.
And Cricket getting you home with traffic and weather.
Camp on Melt Lemon, not in the left lane on the freeway.
Here we go! And now, a man who has not one, but 3 first names, David Scott Kelly.
Well, over the weekend, there were some folks that left the Arizona Wildcats football program and hopped on a plane and went to Seattle. Jordan Washington, an incoming running back out of Long Beach Jordan High School. He was a 3-star recruit. He had enrolled early. This was a young man that I can remember. I ran into former running backs coach Scotty Graham at a Wildcats game, not this past season, but the season before. And he was just raving about this young man. Like, raving. Like, wait till you see this kid. We just got this running back, Jordan Washington. Oh, my God. The kid he's off the charts fast. Raved about him. So was looking forward to seeing him play, but obviously not really going to get a chance. And I only went out to 2 spring practices, and so I didn't see him do one drill at all or anything like that. So I can't, we'll have somebody on, maybe Troy or one of those guys who actually saw him touch the ball. I didn't see him touch the football here. So is it a loss? Yes. It's going to hurt a incoming recruiting class that is already crippled with defections, guys that had signed here and decided not to come. Damon Williams obviously being at the top of that list, the quarterback out of Chandler Basha, who was supposed to come here and has opted to go to Seattle instead. Ahmad Williams, another running back who was supposed to come here out of Glendale Apollo, who opted out and decided to go to Seattle instead. So there's now makes 3 guys, I believe, out of this incoming class who have defected, maybe 4 actually, because Audric Harris, the wide receiver, also defected out and went to Seattle. But again, lot of high expectation just because of what I'd heard from Scotty Graham talking to him about Jordan Washington, but I never saw Jordan Washington play in high school, so it's a loss, but I'm not going to really worry too much about kids that never actually got here. Kevin Green Jr., good kid. Was Kevin Green Jr. ever really going to play here? I mean, watched him play a lot, watched him practice quite a bit. Just kind of went into our file to see, do we have any Kevin Green highlights that we can play here? No. Are there other guys on the team that obviously slot into that particular spot in the wide receiver room? Yes. Were they higher than Kevin Green on the depth chart? Yes. If he had eventually played here, was he going to be a mainstream wide receiver? I personally didn't see it. And that's all I can go off of. So Kevin Green losing some experience there, but we talked about it last week after the spring game. That is a deep, deep room, your wide receiver room right now. So in my mind, not a huge loss either. 520-848-1290. How do you feel about those two the defections?
So what's the total number then? Like 10?
Guys that have left total? I think it's,
guys that left here and followed the coach who recruited them.
Yes, I think it's 10.
10.
Yeah.
Because it was so late in the process, I don't think that's an outrageous number. A lot of high school relationships are formed with the coaching staffs more so than the university. So when a coach leaves, just at the tail end of a season and those seniors from high school decide to follow the coach as opposed to stay with the school, that's a pretty common thing.
Yeah. So again, I'm not knocking guys. I'm just telling you, Kevin Green, I didn't see him being a frontline guy. He wasn't going to play in front, and we don't know yet how Brent Brennan is going to use his wide receivers in terms of, we know Jedd played 3 guys, and that was it. So so there wasn't going to be a lot of opportunity to play under Jedd Fisch here.
Right.
Now, Brent Brennan might come in and use more than 3 guys. I don't know. It looks like we saw some guys that make some plays last Saturday that, like we mentioned, what's his, Haynes, Rex Haynes. We mentioned Rex Haynes being a guy who showed out, made a play. We saw some other guys make plays, but again, that's the spring game. When the lights go on for real, how tight is Brent Brennan's rotation going to be? Is he going to use 5, 6 wide receivers? Or is he going to be like Jedd and only use 3, 4 and a running back who, last year you had a running back who caught more balls than a lot of wide receivers?
Yeah, and you haven't even mentioned the fact that he's, they talk pretty openly about having an all-conference tight end every year that they're over there. So
right,
there aren't only so many balls to go around.
And there were a lot of 2 tight end sets.
Right.
So I just didn't see Kevin Green being a guy that was going to jump to the forefront of that mix. He was already passed by Malachi Riley, who was a younger player. Malachi Riley, now I see him as being a guy that, he's going to be he's going to be in the mix. He started getting into the mix last year, and he's going to be a bigger part of this wide receiving rotation this year. And so the writing was on the wall for Kevin Green. He was probably going to be no better than number 2 on the depth chart, and in a lot of offenses, number 2 on the depth chart might not even get you very many reps. So if he thinks he can go to Washington and get more reps because those people know him a little bit better, then so be it. Good luck to you. We'll go on with what we have here. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Yesterday, I got up early because there was a basketball game happening that was of interest.
One that you cared about.
To me. Absolutely. One that I cared about. And it was one that ended the way that I wanted it to end.
Take 2.
The Cavaliers have knocked off the Orlando Magic 4-3 in an epic first-round best-of-7 battle.
Epic. 7 games.
Well, was it? The first 5 are blowouts, right?
Anytime you play 7 games.
No, of course.
It's,
I just mean, of all the series that happened in the first round of the NBA playoffs, that one was blowout, close game, blowout, close game.
Right.
Yeah.
So it was fun. The Cavaliers won yesterday. I was happy about that. Really impressed, though. Really impressed with the youngster, Paolo Banchero.
Oh, yeah.
For the Orlando Magic.
Yeah, no, he's the full package. Coming out of Duke, everybody thought he would be the consensus best player in that class. Last year, first half of the season, it was between him and Mathurin. as far as who's going to be the rookie of the year, but he just ran away with that award. And any guy who comes back for their second year and is already added, every summer you go away, DK, you want to add a few wrinkles. And yeah, Paolo Banchero he's scary because he's, again, with positionless basketball being the height that he is, 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", whatever he is, going to finally grow into that skill set. He's just an all-around really, really solid player for sure.
Did you know that his mom is one of the best players in the history of the Washington Huskies program?
I knew that his mom had played, yeah.
Yeah. She is, before there was some of the great players they've had recently, like Kelsey Plum, there was Rhonda Smith in the 90s.
Right.
She was the leading scorer for that program for a number of years. And she's still 6th all-time on the career scoring list at the University of Washington. So, yeah, he comes from some pretty nice Pac-12 bloodlines there.
We did have some breaking news, actually, in the NBA while we're on the subject.
Okay.
Victor.
We need to get a thing for that.
This isn't breaking because I don't think anybody really is surprised. But
breaking news.
Mr. Victor Wembanyama, you might have heard of him, just moments ago became the 6th ever unanimous Rookie of the Year.
Wow.
So those players unanimous are Ralph.
No. Let me guess. Let's try to guess a few of these.
He became the 6th. So there are 5 other unanimous Rookies of the Year.
Well, you just said Ralph Sampson.
Ralph Sampson was the first. Yeah, 84. I don't think this record goes back as far as like guys like Wilt and those guys. So yeah, 80. Start in the 80s.
Michael Jordan.
No.
Wow.
He was not
one
unanimous.
of them. Kobe Bryant.
No, he didn't really play as. He was behind a couple guys there his rookie year.
Shaquille O'Neal.
No.
Jeez, I'm like 0 for 30.
Do you know who Shaquille's favorite player growing up that he wanted to be like was?
No.
The Admiral.
Ooh, David Robinson?
Yes, David Robinson, 1990.
Tim Duncan?
Nope. No.
I'm just going to stop guessing now.
Blake Griffin, after David Robinson. That's 21 years later, Blake Griffin. You know how it is, DK, with these unanimous things. I'm sure there's one writer who just didn't like the Spurs and so would never vote for Spurs. That's how that works. Blake Griffin in 2011. Damian Lillard, 2013, was unanimous. Karl Anthony Towns, unanimous Rookie of the Year, 2016. And that's it.
Wow.
So,
I would not have guessed. I don't think I'd have guessed any of those.
I mean, Robinson and Tim Duncan both won Rookie of the Year. So that was why the joke about how the Spurs, under Pop and their dynasty or whatever, getting a generational center like that after already getting David Robinson and Tim Duncan, those guys also both won Rookie of the Years, yes.
All right. So congratulations to Victor Wembanyama, the 6th unanimous Rookie of the Year in NBA history.
He's also one of the 3 finalists for Defensive Player of the Year, along with Gobert and Adebayo. Nice. So I don't think he's going to win that award, but being one of the 3 finalists in his rookie year, led the league in blocks by well over a block per game. So really, really amazing rookie season.
Game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, Indiana-New York underway. Indiana early up 33-32. Game 2, how about any surprises there? And Denver going down in game 1?
Bro, I don't know if anybody's paying attention, but that series is going to be, already that first game was so crazy. When you think of all the young talent, Joker, I think, is 29 or 30, something like that. But between Jamal Murray and Ant and all those guys, Anthony Edwards, David Kelly, I don't know if you watched that game, but people say he's coming. He might already be here because I think he's had at least 30-plus points in his last 3 or 4 playoff games. He's just dominant right now. He's only 22 years old. So, yeah, I really, really have enjoyed that first game. Looking forward to that second game tonight.
Game 1, Celtics and Cavaliers tomorrow night. I have to go to Cleveland this weekend for a wedding. The wedding's on Saturday. Game 3 is on Saturday, so I don't think I'm going to that game, but I got my eyes on Game 4 next Monday night.
So last time you were in Cleveland, it was the women's Final Four, right? And the tickets were so outrageous because of Caitlin Clark that you couldn't get one.
Right.
Oh, what's more expensive, secondhand market tickets for a Cavaliers playoff game or for the Final Four with Caitlin Clark?
I totally forgot. They went on sale at noon our time, and I forgot I was too busy doing other stuff. I forgot to see what the prices were going to be. I would think this is going to be more expensive.
I hope.
I
hope so.
I think this is going to be more expensive. We'll see, though. If I can get my hands on some Game 4 tickets, that would be kind of cool. The last time I went to a Cavaliers home playoff game was I believe it was Game 3 of the 17 finals. Might have been whatever the one where Durant scored like 45 points and hit the shot from half court.
Right.
It was that game.
Is that the series Kyrie won at the end?
No. This was the one they lost. They lost.
Yeah.
They got swept. It was the one they got swept.
Feels like LeBron and Steph are in the finals every year for like a decade straight, so I get them all mixed up.
Yeah, that was the last Cavs playoff game that I've been to. So looking forward to maybe going to one next week on my latest trip back to the homestead. DK on the sports tip. We'll get into some hockey as well coming up. We had a couple dramatic endings to the weekend there. We don't want to leave out our hockey brethren as well as a whole lot more. I've still got your keyword to see Taylor Swift and the Eras Tour coming up in October. Well, the keyword is coming up next. The concert's not coming up until October. Right now, though, cricket's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Earlier collisions, Oracle and Pushview Lane and Oracle. Collision on Los Reales to the west of Mission. Bridge construction on Avra Valley Road west of I-10 over the Santa Cruz River will occur through mid-July. And for your weather, about 54 the overnight low, sunny 88 tomorrow and 80 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Every business faces challenges, but shipping shouldn't be one of them. Turn shipping to your advantage with USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Escape the ordinary and indulge in a world of excitement at Park Place Mall. Discover endless possibilities with over 100 stores, restaurants, and entertainment options. Join them for the monthly Kids Club, Yappy Hour, and seasonal events. From fashion to food, it's all at Park Place Mall, where you belong.
Not all sports stations are built the same way. 1290 has Wildcats football, men's basketball, and baseball, plus the NFL and the Super Bowl. Tucson trusts 1290. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
This just in, Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Year after year, Lerner Rowe is voted best personal injury law firm in Arizona. You may wonder why. The answer is quite simple. Lerner Rowe is so popular because we give every client excellent service and a superior experience. But also the main reason is results. We've recovered billions of dollars for our clients with over $1 billion collected in the last 5 years alone. Our phone lines are always open and our legal team is standing by right now, waiting for your call.
Lerner & Rowe is the way to go. Call 977-1900.
O'Reilly.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free and provides a report with solutions based on over 650 million vehicle scans verified by ASE certified master technicians. And if you need help, we can recommend a shop for you. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Guided by the West, the first Boot Barn store opened its doors 45 years ago.
establishing a legacy rooted in honesty and hard work, driven by those who make our country so great. With our 400th store opening this month, we're reminded of our mission to offer everyone a piece of the American spirit, one handshake at a time. Thank you for allowing us to support our American heritage. Boot Barn. Keep West.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-280-8787. That's 1-800-280-8787. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-280-8787. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Wildcats fans from coast to coast can bring a little bit of Tucson to themselves wherever they happen to be by streaming 1290 on our website at wildcatsradio1290.com. The home of the Wildcats is everywhere. This is Wildcats Radio 1290. DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, we do know one thing for sure in terms of the National Hockey League. We are going to have a new champion this year.
Now Radek Faksa had position on Martinez. Leaves it for Smith. Back for Faksa. Was in his skates. Backhand. He scored! Radek Faksa! Opening minute of the third. He's back in the lineup and the Stars are back in front. Hurdle to Hannafin. Across Eichel shoots. And capped out. Otger got enough. 7 seconds left. Hannafin Eichel. Saved by Otger. Behind the net. Final seconds. It's over. Game over. Series over. Title defense over.
The Dallas Stars take down the Vegas Golden Knights 4-3 in a 7-game series, first-round series. There we had a number of first-round series in the NHL go 7 games. So the Vegas Knights, who came on the scene with Aiden Hill, the former Tucson Roadrunner, as their goalie last year and stole the hearts of America, winning it all, will not get a chance to repeat as they are out in the first round of the playoffs this year. And speaking of Game 7s, how about another? There's nothing, people will tell you this, and I will agree. There is nothing better than a Game 7 in hockey because it is absolutely sudden death, can end at any moment. And that's what happened in the first round series for the Boston Bruins.
And get people to the net. Lindholm, right wing corner. Pasternak is there. He scores! David Pasternak wins it for Boston.
The Boston Bruins. Remember last year they were so good and they lost in the first round?
Did they set a record for points last year?
Yeah, exactly. Well, they it took them 7 games, but they get out of the first round this year, and they are moving on to round 2 after winning in overtime on a goal in Game 7. I mean that's fun right there. That's absolute fun. Watching some of those hockey games that go Game 7s that go into overtime, because you just never know. At a moment's notice, your season could be over, or you could be moving on to the next round.
Yeah, I think of like baseball, soccer, hockey, the lower scoring sports, right?
Yeah.
But baseball, you get 4 runs in the top of the 14th, you still get a chance in the bottom half, to come back. So that sudden death aspect of it, DK, you're right. I mean, it's always, you really never know what's going to happen at the end of a 7th game in the NHL.
Yeah, a lot of fun. So things will be ratcheting up now for round 2 of the postseason on the hockey side. The Carolina Panthers are one of the teams that are moving into that sector. And Dallas is, as we mentioned, going to be there along with Colorado. So it's some of the traditional teams that you see this time of year on the NHL side are still remaining as they try to be the champion this year for Lord Stanley Cup. So for a number of years, it was the Tampa Bay Lightning, but obviously they were eliminated in the first round, and we got the new champion last year in the Vegas Golden Knights, and so we'll see who emerges this year. So the Stars will play the Avalanche in one Western Conference semifinal.
It's the only upset so far.
Yeah, the Canucks will play the Edmonton Oilers. So that'll be another Western Conference semifinal. And then you've got Boston and Carolina. In fact, they are starting tonight.
They're underway.
Yeah, that game is underway early in the first. And then the Florida Panthers and the Boston Bruins. And then the Carolina Hurricanes will take on the New York Rangers.
It's a lot of chalk, DK. So, like, the Avalanche are the only upset in that first round. They beat the Jets. But other than that, it's 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, 1-3.
And the Avalanche are so, that was an upset for sure. But they're always right there. I mean,
sure.
They're kind of like the Warriors. It's like, they're even when they're down, they're still a team that can go deep in the postseason when they get things going. So those are your final 8 on the hockey side.
Yeah, the Jets only finished like one game up on the Avalanche in the regular season, so not much of an upset.
There you go. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. FC Tucson got a win in their opener yesterday. They played a friendly against Guanajuato Selección and came up on top 2-0. So the guys will be back on the pitch. I believe it is this coming Saturday night. They'll take on the U of A men's club soccer team.
Did you watch any Inter Miami?
I did not know, but I heard Messi had like 5 assists
Leo
or something.
had 5 assists and a goal. Yeah, 5 assists apparently is the most ever in an MLS game.
Is that right?
Yep, ever.
Wow. Pretty impressive.
And I mean, again, like, I think people know Leo Messi for his scoring, in his goal scoring, should I say. But as far as he's one of the best passers of all time as well. Mm-hmm. And a couple of those passes, DK, especially like I think it was the third assist, went through 3 players. It's hard to describe.
Yeah. Well, it was a good weekend for Arizona baseball. It was not such a good weekend for your Arizona Diamondbacks baseball.
Diamondbacks download.
Baseball stuff! Baseball stuff!
All right, the Padres came to town coming off a series in which the Diamondbacks had lost 2 of 3 to the Dodgers, and the Padres brought out the sticks in Game 1 Friday night.
Here's the 2-1 to Fernando. That's hit in the air to very deep left center field. Oh, my goodness. Fernando Tatis Jr. way out to left center. Long home run. And the Padres' first hit of the night, a 2-run homer as they take a 2-0 lead.
Instant swag taker right there.
3-1 to Manny. Here's the pitch. And Machado rips it into deep left field and gone. Wow. Absolute line drive over the left field fence. If that wall is 8 feet tall, that thing never got more than 10 feet off the ground. Absolutely remarkable. A 2-run homer and a 7-0 Padre lead.
Don't let Fernando Tatis and Manny Machado get going, because that could make the Padres a real formidable team in the National League West. 7-1, San Diego won Friday night. Then they really brought out the whooping sticks on Saturday.
Forces the Diamondbacks to bring the infield in as well. Here's the 3-2. Profar swings, hits it in the air to deep left field. Gurriel is back. He's going to watch. It's going to go. 2-run homer, Jurickson Profar. His third hit of the night. And now 7-0 Padres in the top of the 7th inning. Padres have Campusano on first, Merrill on second, trying to add to the 8-0 lead. Here's the pitch from Kim. That's it in the air to deep left field. Gurriel is going back, twisting and turning. He's watching. It's going to go. A 3-run homer for Ha-Seong Kim. 11-0 Padres, and now an 8-run 7th inning as Kim clears the fence for the 5th time this year.
Yeah, that was not pretty. Not pretty pitching on Saturday by the Arizona Diamondbacks. Brandon Pfaadt got the start, and he struggled in this early going. Allowed 10 hits in 6 innings, struck out 4, but he has a 4.61 ERA and has just won 1 game so far this season. So 20-2 Padres in the first 2 games. It got a little bit better, though, in game number 3. Corbin Carroll has gotten off to a little bit of a slow start for this team this season, and but he's still only hitting 194. So he's under the Mendoza line, which is under 200, but he's starting to try to climb out of it, and he did so yesterday.
Waldron comes set, and now he throws. Swing and a line drive. That's into center field, a base hit. Walker rounding third. He's going to try and score. The throw from center is off the mark. It gets past the catcher. Waldron not backing up the play. Carroll goes into second on the E8, and it's 4-0 Diamondbacks.
Diamondbacks getting some runs early on Sunday as they tried to avoid the sweep, and they got some power late from Jock Peterson.
3-1 pitch. Swing and a high fly ball deep to right field. Tatis drifting towards the corner. Looking, watching it go. 2-run shot for Peterson, number 3. And it's double digits for the Diamondbacks. They lead 10-4.
11-4 was the final as the Diamondbacks got the win. Let's hear from Torey Lovello, the manager, just kind of wrapping up what was not the best weekend, but at least they didn't get swept.
Coming off of couple, actually 3 tough days, 3 losses. This team on a day game came out ready to play, and I am so proud of what they did. The first inning, we made a big statement offensively. Nelly came out hot with his stuff, was attacking the zone, and things just had a different feel to it. It just, from the first inning on, it just seemed like it was all synced up and moving in a really, really good direction. You get a base hit, and then your second hitter hits a long home run. There's a ton of energy in the dugout, and it just kept flowing throughout the course of the day. So a lot of props to Cattell. I know Marte had a huge, McCarthy had a huge day. Walk had, to me, had a really big knock. I think the base hit that got down the line with 2 outs was a little bit of a tack-on run. It got us back to a 4-run lead. And, those are little things that go on in the mind of a player. You get to a certain point, and then they close it up, and then you extend it again. Those tack-on runs are huge. But Nelly was fantastic. I know there was a couple hiccups in there, all to be expected, but he was attacking the zone. And it just fell into place. The bullpen did a really nice job. A win right now was exactly what we needed. Enjoy our off day tomorrow, and we're onward to Cincinnati.
Yeah, bullpen. Ryan Nelson got the start. The Diamondbacks got all 11 of their runs in the first 5 innings to make him a winner. Although he didn't pitch awesome, he allowed 4 runs on 8 hits in 5 innings and allowed the 1 home run. But like Troy said, the bullpen, Martinez, Mantiply, Ryan Thompson, Kevin Ginkel, 4 shutout innings, allowing just 4 hits down the stretch to close things out in an 11-4 win. Now, on the injury front for Arizona, got some updates there as well from Torey Lovello before yesterday's game. Closer Paul Sewald is going to head out onto the road trip with the team. He could be able to go as soon as tomorrow's first game. It's an off day today, but they'll play tomorrow, so he might be ready for activation. Alec Thomas also has been sidelined since the first week of the season. He could return this week as well. He is headed out to Reno on a rehab assignment. So that's really good news for the Diamondbacks to try to get those 2 guys back, because they've got 3 in Cincinnati starting tomorrow and then 3 in Baltimore to follow that on this 6-game road trip, which starts tomorrow at Great American Ballpark. All right, when we come back, we'll have your Desert Diamond Casino replay and a little bit more for you. It's DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. With the next phase of the Grant Road Improvement Project started today, expect some rolling lane closures along Grant Road between Alvernon Way and Swan Road. And 54 the low, sunny 88 tomorrow and 80 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
Here at O'Reilly Chevrolet, we want to thank you, Tucson, for helping us celebrate 100 years of serving our community. And we want to thank the Tucson Fire Department for helping us put out the cape.
O'Reilly Chevrolet.
This report is sponsored by Discover. As humans, we like having options. One option you might like is speaking with a real person when you call about your credit card. With 24/7 live US-based customer service from Discover, everyone can talk to a real person anytime, day or night. Limitations apply. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
This just in. Goodfellas AC is matching up to $2,000 on federal tax credit.
Whoa, seriously? This is unbelievable. I gotta call Floyd at Goodfellas.
Hello, Goodfellas. Floyd speaking.
Is it true about the $2,000?
It sure is. Homeowners like you may qualify for a 30% federal tax credit up to $2,000 on qualifying heat pumps. And Goodfellas will match the tax credit dollar for dollar up to $2,000. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
You want to protect her. You'll give anything to make sure nothing harms her. Every minute together makes unforgettable memories. Except that time you parked her under that tree and...
Oh, come on, man. Really?
Sorry, we'll never speak of it again. But remember who came to her rescue? Recon Auto Detailing. Arizona's premier auto detailing company comes directly to you. We'll make your masterpiece shine like it should, and with a monthly maintenance package, we'll keep it that way. Recon Auto Detailing. Online at recondetail.com.
Experiencing the natural wonders comes easy at Rock & K, nestled at the base of the Rincon Mountain foothills. Enjoy stunning mountain views up close every day. Hit the community trails, explore local parks like Saguaro National and Colossal Cave, and mingle at private Diamond Community Park events. In the top-rated Vail School District, Rock & K is close to work, shopping, and services. Tour 11 different model homes by top-tier builders, offering move-in ready homes and special incentives. Live rockandk.com. Designed by Nature, proud U of A radio broadcast sponsor.
Diabetes, high blood pressure, anxiety meds, everyone's on them. If you're a 50-year-old male, maybe a bit porky, and you may even have type 2 diabetes, $1 million of term insurance may only cost you about $200 a month. Call Term Provider. Speak with Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Big Lou will find a term life policy for you even if you have type 2 diabetes, are overweight, or have high blood pressure. Term Provider has helped thousands of people like you who think they can't afford term life insurance. To buy $1 million of affordable term life for you, all you need to do is call Big Lou at 800-511-3535. Lou will make sure the scales are tipped in your favor. Call 800-511-3535. Big Lou will answer your call and work to fit you into a term life policy that you can afford. Remember, Big Lou's like you. He's on meds too. Call 800-511-3535. 800-511-3535 or biglou.com.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports, sponsored by Kohl's. Congratulations to the USC beach volleyball team, who won their 4th straight national championship yesterday. The Trojans defeated a familiar foe, the UCLA Bruins, in the title match for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons. Women's beach volleyball has only been recognized by the NCAA since 2016. Either USC or UCLA has won every national championship since then. After yesterday, the Trojans have 6 of those titles. This year's Trojans team finished with a record of 37-5. They didn't drop a single match during their tournament run. USC was led once again by the twin sisters, Audrey and Nicole Norse. For the 2nd straight year, the pair won the championship clinching set. Congratulations to USC for continuing their dominance in women's beach volleyball. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Amber Theo Harris on Westwood One.
PSA for anyone who's not the best at remembering dates. Mother's Day is May 12th. Luckily, finding something she'll love is easy. Just go to Kohl's. I got a Sephora fragrance set for $35. Then with the extra 20% off, I scored cute PJs for just $19.99 and jewelry for under $30. Plus, I earned Kohl's Cash and found even more great prices across the store. Yep, it doesn't get better than Kohl's. Select styles. Offers end May 12th. Coupons and Kohl's Cash do not apply to Sephora. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Some people just know there's a better way to do things, like bundling your home and auto insurance with Allstate, or going to the grocery store for milk instead of buying your own cow. You know there's an easier and better way, Save up to 25% when you bundle home and auto with Allstate.
Bundled savings vary by state and are not available in every state. Saving up to 25% is the countrywide average of the maximum available savings off the home policy. Allstate Vehicle and Property Insurance Company and affiliates, Northbrook, Illinois.
Taylor Swift.
It's not too late for you to experience the Eras. Taylor brings the tour back to the U.S. this fall, and we put you in the running to see her in style. Win one of 3 trips to see Taylor Swift, including round-trip air, 2 nights hotel, $500 spending cash, and 2 of the hottest tickets on the planet. Welcome to the Eras Tour.
All right, it's that time of the day. We are coming the final few days of our Taylor Swift promotion, the Eras Tour. 3 grand prize winners. One's already been announced. 2 more still to be announced. Tickets to see Taylor in New Orleans in October. Round-trip airfare for 2, 2-night hotel stay, 2 tickets to the show, $500 in cash. I'm going to give you a keyword right now to text to the short code 9589. So 95819. Sorry, 95819. One more time. 95819. Put that number into your phone, and you're going to text Woods. Woods is your keyword right now, like Tiger Woods. 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 Let us know what song that is.
I mean, I knew Taylor had a lot of ex-boyfriends.
Yeah, I don't think Tiger's one of them.
No, I don't think so either.
Text Woods to 95819. Your chance to see the Eras Tour in October in New Orleans, courtesy of Wildcats Radio, 1290.
DK on the sports tip on Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Final stages of today's show. Tomorrow we'll take you. Actually, we're going to extend our show tomorrow for about 20 minutes because we will take you right up to the Arizona Wildcats baseball game against ASU. That starts at 6:20 with coverage for Brian Jeffries. So we will normally the game start at 5:50, so we go 10 minutes short. This game will go about 20 minutes longer for you, so you'll have a little bit bonus.
That's generous of Brian to give those minutes back to us.
Yeah, right? He's a good guy.
He's a really good guy.
He's a good guy. Bonus coverage tomorrow, leading you up to the Arizona Wildcats and the Arizona State Sun Devils. And the Wildcats really need that game in terms of the Territorial Cup because they need to split that point with the Sun Devils. All right, let's give you your Desert Diamond Casino replay.
And now, the best thing you will hear all day.
Hachi-machi!
It's time for the Wildcat Radio Replay. In case you missed this earlier in the day, we now bring you the best of 1290. It's made possible by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
All right, in case you missed the top story of the day, there is a new sponsor for the Arizona Bowl. It is now going to be known as the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. Dre, of course, is Dr. Dre. Snoop, of course, is Snoop Dogg. They have a new alcoholic beverage that was released out during the Super Bowl this year. It is called Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. Did you see my tweet earlier? Not my tweet. Did you see the station's tweet earlier? So much drama in the TUC. It's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G.
I like it.
Well, all the drama here, it's actually probably easy being Snoop D-O-double-G. We're going to go over the flavors of this gin and juice. There were a lot. I think there was folks drinking it today at the press conference, which, all right, I guess we're going to call it a gin and juice lunch now.
Hey, look, the big story here to me is the first ever title sponsor of an adult beverage, of a spirit.
Yeah.
Right? So
spirits.
That's the big news.
There's a lot of spirits at the Sands Club today. Those folks don't need an alcoholic beverage to be spirited because they do a good job of it on their own. Give them a little gin and juice by Dre and Snoop Dogg, and who knows what happened after that press conference was over today. We'll get into the flavors here. We'll see. We'll see. Because I have not had this. I'll have to go out and buy it and see if. Again, I'm not a big gin fan, but I'll try it. I'm willing to try anything. Let's hear from Kim Adair, who is the executive director of the Arizona Bowl, on this fabulous new partnership for Tucson's college football game.
This year, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop, is bringing sports, libations, and entertainment into a singular bowl game, and in a way that's never been seen before. In this morning's announcement, Snoop said it best when he said, "At a time when college football fans are exhausted by the constant talk around NIL, conference realignment, coach movement, transfer portal, and super conferences, it's time that we get back to the roots of college football, when it was focused on the colleges, the players, the competition, the community, the fan experience, and the pageantry." Then he said, he's bringing the juice back to college football. We couldn't agree more with that assessment. I'd like to introduce you guys to a few important people that made this announcement possible. First, I'd like to introduce you to Sarah Ramaker, the president of Death Row Productions, Records, Pictures, all of the above. Sarah. When we first contacted Sarah and Snoop about this crazy idea to create the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl, they immediately understood how this partnership could bring life to Snoop's passions of music, football, and youth sports, all in one centralized event. Without their ability to think creatively and be open to defying convention, we would not be here today. So thank you, Sarah, for being our champion all the way through. Thank you, Sarah. We knew, though, to get this right and to do something totally transformative, we needed one more partner to join us on this ride. And that was Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop, a brand new ready-to-drink canned beverage that was launched at the Super Bowl in February. When we met Sean, Patrick, and Andrew, they're here, Sean, Patrick, and Andrew, and their team, it immediately felt like we could do something groundbreaking together. Their enthusiasm to be the first alcohol presenting sponsor in a bowl game was contagious, and it felt like the perfect alliance from the start. Thank you guys so much for being here.
That was the Wildcat Radio Replay with the best of the best from 1290. It's brought to you by Desert Diamond Sportsbook, Arizona's best bet.
So again, the Arizona Bowl continues to be a bowl that thinks outside of the box. And they, for a number of years, had a partnership with Barstool Sports, where they, I don't know if you've been in these press conferences, but when they did the deal with Barstool Sports, they actually did it by they have these not official but unofficial signings. So they signed an actual bar stool. There was a red bar stool, and then the folks with the Arizona Bowl signed it, and then the Barstool people signed it. Well, today they signed a record to kind of signaturize the agreement.
My only issue is I've heard "think outside the box" like 4 or 5 times today. Right. DK, the one thing I know juice comes in is in a box.
Yeah. Oh.
So maybe stop saying "think outside the box" because juices and boxes are kind of synonymous with each other.
Yeah, that's true. And I don't know if I don't know if the NCAA wants to be hearing Snoop's bringing the juice back
probably
to college.
Yeah, probably not. Probably not.
No, we don't want to bring that kind of juice back to college football. So is this going to be a profitable and productive partnership for Tucson and the Arizona Bowl? Will Snoop Dogg sponsorship be better than the Barstool sponsorship? We've got a poll up right now. Head on over to our website, or our Twitter page, actually, not our website. You won't see it there. Well, you might, because I think our Twitter page is connected to the website. But at Wildcats 1290 on Twitter, you can vote right now in our poll. Will Snoop Dogg's sponsorship of the Arizona Bowl be better and more productive for Tucson than the partnership was with Barstool Sports? Yes. Right now, winning dramatically, 94%. Let's hear earlier today from the man, Snoop Dogg himself.
College football fans are exhausted by the constant talk around NIL, conference realignment, coach movement, transfer portal, and super conferences. So it's time that we get back to the roots of college football, when it was focused on the colleges, the players, the competition, the community, the fan experience, and the pageantry. Being a fan, coach, supporter of all levels of the game, I sent many players through my SYFL to colleges and the NFL. So it's only fitting that I step up and help get this thing right. I'm ready to bring the juice back to college football. And I'm taking my talents, that's right, to Arizona. Believe me, Arizona, baby. I'm here to announce the new collaboration, the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. Presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. The game will be played on December 28th at the University of Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona. I'll be there. Will you be there? Well, guess what? We'll see you there.
Rolling down the street, smoking, sipping on gin and juice. All right, so there's four flavors, J-Dub, to this thing. This gin and juice by Dre and Snoop. Apricot. How do you pronounce that?
Both.
Apricot?
Both are acceptable.
Okay. Citrus, melon, and passion fruit.
Okay.
Which one are you doing? I'm not into apricot. I'm
Probably
not
citrus.
into
Yeah,
melon.
I mean, melon can be a lot of things, to be honest.
Yeah.
Citrus.
Okay,
Citrus, I think, pairs well with gin.
Passion fruit would probably be mine. So I think that's going to be our question of the day tomorrow. Which of the, because they gave us 4 choices, which is exactly what we need for our polls. So which of the 4 is going to be your favorite gin and juice by Dre and Snoop?
I don't know long-term about success of today's poll, but I do know that Barstool is a Boston, Massachusetts-based company that also works out of New York City. And although I had a lot of roommates from that area while I was at the U of A, I think Southern California lifestyle, DK, pairs better with Tucson than it does. There's so many angry people in New York and Boston. I just think Barstool is a little bit more that big city, East Coast type of flavor. So there's my vote.
5.9% alcohol by volume in this drink by Dre and Snoop. So we'll get more into that tomorrow and as the week goes on. That is going to wrap up our show for today. Thanks to our guest today. We had Riley Wall from Pima Basketball. For JW Madden and Cricket, my name is David Kelly. That is our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Don't drink too much of that gin and juice.
From the O'Reilly Chevrolet Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collisions reported Irvington near Alvernon on Irvington west of Alvernon, Thornydale and Hardy and Thornydale, and also some backups and road work on northbound Wilmot approaching 5th Street. And for your weather, 54 the low, sunny 88 tomorrow, and 79 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by eBay Motors. eBay Motors is here for the ride with the parts you need at the prices you want. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they're guaranteed to fit your ride the first time, every time, or your money back. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Always trust the big guy. Mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair at coolwillies.com. Cool Willie's is proud to be a partner of the University of Arizona Wildcats football radio broadcast. 2 powerful teams working hard for you to get the job done right every day. Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. Big enough to help, small enough to care. Remember to mention your Wildcats and receive $50 off any repair. coolwillies.com.
We get you so close to the action at McHale, it feels like Wilbur and Wilma are in the car with you. This is the home of Arizona men's basketball. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle, unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. And right now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. With ZipRecruiter, one click sends your job to hundreds of top job sites. But more than that, ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies the candidates with the skills you need, sends you a list of great matches to review, then actively invites them to apply for your job. And the results speak for themselves. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. That's right, the first day. Now you can focus on your business and let ZipRecruiter do the work finding the best people for you. See for yourself. Experience the ease, efficiency, and power of ZipRecruiter for free. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Good news, everybody. We stay on the air with you for an extra 2 hours after every Arizona football and men's basketball game all season long. That's why we are the home of the Wildcats. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
Broadway in Tucson presents the new 2024-2025 season, featuring 6 blockbuster productions, including Mamma Mia and the Southern Arizona premieres of Clue, live on stage, Beetlejuice, Some Like It Hot, the Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, and Shucked. Secure your signature season tickets today and get the best seats at the best prices. Visit BroadwayInTucson.com and secure your 2024-2025 season tickets today.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Hey guys, what are you... Gotta take this. Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Now.
Thank you for... Right. You don't say. Now.
Hold it. What's with all the nows?
People want to know the best time for an Alaskan vacation.
And you're telling them...
Hello? Now.
Well, there's no bad time for an Alaskan vacation. But the best time is now.
Pretty soon, Arizona temps are going to put a strain on your AC.
Now is really the best time.
You're not telling people about all the money they save?
Now.
Or how Alaskan AC will make their AC last longer?
Now.
Or the big 1-year guarantee that their AC will not break down?
Thank you for calling Alaskan AC. Well, Ron wants to tell you a bunch of stuff. I know. That's kind of what I told him. Okay, thanks. Oh, by the way, now.
The best time for an Alaskan vacation is...
now.
Schedule at alaskanac.com. Now.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. I knew we could not put off getting life insurance. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $40 a month. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $18 a month.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-452-5050 or go to SelectQuote.com now. That's 1-800-452-5050. Full details on example policies at SelectQuote.com/commercials.
Attorney Joe Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills. Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Tucson area attorneys. Joseph Cordell, licensed in Missouri and Illinois only. CordellCordell.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. We are the sports station that Tucson turns to for all the latest news when it comes to Arizona men's basketball.
You're listening to the JR Sport Brief.
It is the JR Sport Brief Show here with you on the Infinity Sports Network. I'm coming to you live from Atlanta, Georgia. Super producer and host Ryan Hickey, he's holding it down for us in New York City. And you, thank you for listening. There is no show without you. Are you listening on the free Odyssey app? Thank you very much. Are you listening live and local on your regional affiliate? Thank you very much. You got Sirius XM? Good, thank you. You can listen on Sirius. It's channel 158. And if you got a smart speaker, you're listening there? Terrific. All you had to do is ask to play, the Infinity Sports Network, and boom, we pop right